Never before have we had greater face a complex, rapidly changing world. Think of it a moment.
It is a world in which supersonic speeds are commonplace. It is a world that has seen the coming of the atomic bomb. It has seen the rise of the total state, the dictator, and the mass man. It is a world of new sensations, new excitements, new distractions.
So much to be learned by so many in so little time.
And I suppose you're here with no agenda, as per usual?
On the contrary, I'm here for comics. What kind of man are you anyway? I'm talking comics and you bring up chicks and romance?
The only hiccup is the fact that I am muted. Oh wow, one hiccup. Okay, but aside from that, Andrew is here at the beginning. I don't have to add his camera. Andrew, you should sound well. Look at that.
I should sound all right.
He sounds great.
Look at us. We figured it out.
I mean,
it won't be the same way next week, but
it helps. It helps that you and I are both getting back to our individual streaming. Like, you with your video game streams, me with my video game streams as well. I don't know why I delineated it like that, but I think it puts us more in the zone throughout the week, right? Instead of like, it's Thursday. Holy shit! I got to make sure everything is set up and ready to go.
I got to remember what buttons do what.
Oh my god! Like buttons and scenes and timings and this whole thing. I was reading some compacts earlier this week, so this entire shelf area was like blown up, and I forgot like, everybody can kind of see that when we're live. I should probably clean that up just a little bit. But guys, it is Thursday night. It is the Thursday night, the first official night of Comic-Con San Diego Comic-Con 2027, the big shebang of the event. Obviously, we are not there. We are here live on YouTube and Twitch with you guys right now for another episode of Foil Variant, for intellectually honest comic book talk, for, I don't know why I'm doing this weird intro. Either way, we have a lot to talk about tonight. It is a very super heavy week this week with an incredible issue of Superman from Williamson again. I mean,
it's amazing.
The man, whether this is, we'll talk about it, but if it all ends right here for Superboy Prime, the man did it. The man did like a generational story right here. It's crazy, especially this last issue, dude.
Story that involved, of all characters, Manchester Black
and Superboy Prime and Witchfire. Like, Witchfire, I promise you guys, between the like popularity in general of this arc and then the popularity of Mora's art on her, Witchfire is going to be the next thing, right? Mm-hmm. Like for better or worse, she's going to be the next big DC blow up. I just know it. But with this last issue, kind of in keeping with the meta of it all, right? It almost feels like this one came right out of our brains. Like Superboy Prime jumped right into Andrew and Spencer and said, I know how to beat Manchester Black. So we've got Superboy or Superman number 40. We have Action Comics number 1100, which normally
I picked up on a whim.
Which is what I was about to mention,
and
because
it wound up being a really important whim.
Not only an important whim, a whim you and I would have been like, holy shit, we need to read it, because it has an entire chapter, I guess you could say, in this Superboy Prime saga.
It does. Plus, on top of that, it has something kind of important for just Superman in general.
Which, like,
that honestly, if I didn't even know that. I picked up the book because it's got that Mora section that deals with Superboy Prime, because it follows up from the sequence in Superman 40. I was like, well, that's tied to this, so I want to make sure I have all of that. And then because that's towards the back of the book.
Yeah.
So I'm flipping, and I'm reading through it, and I'm like, wait a second. And then you get to the end of that first story, and I'm like, Why was no one talking about
it?
This?
I was going to give DC their flowers for this one. It is kind of nuts how this... I mean, I'm not going to be spoiling anything. It's in the title. Superman is back. Like, our Superman.
Yeah.
Kal-El.
Our Superman.
And nothing, guys. Like, we've had the Summer of Supergirl. We had the Reign of the Superboys thing going on. We had this Superboy plot with Booster and Martian Manhunter and Mary Marvel going in action. Nobody... That was the plot. I know you haven't been reading it, Andrew, but that was the general plot of action. I haven't really been reading it. I've been picking it up. I like it's good writing because it's Mark Waid. I'm just not a big fan right now of like retro stories. I kind of want to be with our characters now. So it's like, you're doing really great, Mark Waid, and from what I read, it's a really good Superboy Kal-El story. It's just not what I'm in the mood for right now. But I do know that was like the B plot to the Superman arc, or the Superboy whatever arc, the Kal-El arc, if you will. That Booster was like, we got to go find Kal. And so this is the culmination of it. It's just kind of crazy. Like, like you said, nobody talked about it. It's one of those rare instances where something got out into the public naturally, which blew me away, genuinely blew me away. Even if it does, we'll talk about it. It might not have been the most like jaw-dropping return, but it was still, it was a genuine surprise of a return. So we got Superman on deck, and other things we could talk about. We'll probably end the show with a quick word on Amazing Spider-Man number, I don't even know what we're on right now, 40?
Something like that.
Let's see, we are on 33. We're on Amazing Spider-Man 33. We'll talk about it, but there's not a lot to say, so we'll get to that at the very end. Aside from that, I guess let's get the show on the road, starting with Andrew. How are you doing, my brother, my friend, mi amigo? I used brother at the top, so I couldn't escalate anymore, and I realized I fucking wrote myself.
You kind of like buried the lead there. You know, I'm doing all right. This has been an incredibly busy July, a very busy week, a very busy day, but it's also been very productive. Gotten a lot done. I've gotten, in the last 3 months, or just shy of 3 months, I've gotten 3 scripts written completely.
That's crazy. That's super crazy considering I know your regular workload as well, and your streaming workload. Got you, Zero. Right. Got you.
Yeah, no, it's true. And then I'm working on finishing the more detailed outline of another script, which then my goal is to have that written by the end of August. And so I'll have, in like 3.5 months, give or take a week, written 4 scripts, which I'm pretty proud of.
That's like almost Stan Lee level, right? Like, not quite, but like
Stan Lee would have been a lot more, and that's because Stan Lee just did straight Marvel method, which was
really like making fun of the Marvel method. It worked.
Like if he was writing Batman, which obviously he didn't, but like Batman and Robin are in the Batmobile in a car chase, and then like, and that's panel, or that's just a page description,
right?
He doesn't
even say
and
that.
Then,
he's just
and then like gives it to the artist, and then the artist like, okay, so I'm gonna draw Batman and Robin in the Batmobile, right? And then he gets it back from the artist, and then he makes up the dialogue, right? He bullshits the dialogue after that. Like, I'm glad that worked for a lot of people. I can't do Marvel method. I can't do that.
It's not necessarily a good method. It worked back then. Back when, it's a good method if you really need to like pop out bullshit, which essentially we all love it. We love them. We love the old classic Marvel. But that was the business in that day, was to just produce bullshit, right? Like, just get something out there, get it on the stand, get the... Oh, Andrew still has to get brought up. I thought I raised you all right. All right, maybe you're good now. Hopefully you're fine.
Hopefully I'm all right now.
All right, yeah, guys, thank you for keeping us on the audio... I don't know. Audio what? I don't know. Thanks for helping us out with our audio issues. I thought I had a better turn of phrase there. I clearly didn't. But speaking of Andrew being busy, guys, it is July 23rd, which means what is it, 11 o'clock tonight, Central Standard Time? So 9 p.m. Pacific, midnight. Eastern time. Obviously going by the Eastern time. But guys, get your pre-orders in. Arc Stream False Start number 1. I mean, I guess that's going to be the only one of it. But this chapter of the story, cutoff is tomorrow. After that, you can't get covers A, B, and C. You will be able to get D, but A, B, and C, gone forever until there's some magical warehouse sale in like 30 years and we find one, or not we, you find one like underneath a cabinet somewhere.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe. Doubtful that would even happen considering how good the Rippaverse runs business. But if it was ever going to happen after cutoff date, that's how it's going to happen, guys.
We don't do a ton of overruns, but you know, I'll have some.
Well, it's not even overruns. It's just like you guys are too good and tight with your business that you're not going to be like, okay, I got one, put it down. Oh, where did I put it? I don't know. Just go get one from inventory again. You guys, you're too tight of a ship for that.
This is true.
But yeah, so guys, go over to the Rippaverse, get that pre-order in. 1 week left, and obviously I and Andrew, we will both bug you at the end of the show. But I figured let's also kick it off with the fact that you have a week left. We can finally start harassing you guys. 1 week. Next week when we go live, we'll be able to be like, you have 2 hours, 3 hours. Get your ass on it, right? So go to Rippaverse, get Arcstream, and with that. I guess we'll say hi to the chat. We'll get the show moving proper. We have our first visitor of the day, Tex and Cap. Very rare to see you in the live chat. You've been around a couple times, but we see you a lot in the post comment, like the actual comments on a video. So hey, happy to have you, brother. Always nice to see you. You have I know you have a pretty good eclectic comic book taste, as me and Andrew do. So always a pleasure to have a similar reader on our team, on our shores, on our feed. I don't know. We also have Punk. What is going on, Punk? He says he bought 4 comics this week. One of them, Uncanny X-Men number 32 with Rogue on the cover. Did you see that one? The Alexander Lozano one?
Maybe.
He's doing a series right now.
My shop only had the cover A.
Diamond Strikes Again, right, guys? So, Alexander Lozano. He's the guy you and I really like who did I hate that this isn't the easy frame of reference, but the Summer of Supergirl special cover we liked, but she has the really weird hair. Right? So we really like that artist.
She looks like she has storm hair.
Yeah, and everything else is perfect. And to be fair, the motion and weight on that hair is fantastic. It's just not Kara's hair. But he's doing a series right now of 80s throwback covers for X-Men books that are just the X-Men in very 80s looking outfits.
Okay.
This one here, I can probably find it on League of Comic Geeks because they're generally... Oh, no. Okay. My VPN's blocking me, and if I hop off, it's going to cause a weird problem, so I won't pull it up now.
Yeah, League of Comic Geeks doesn't play well with VPNs.
It's really... it doesn't do any American servers.
The app, the mobile website, the desktop website, none of it.
It's really good on them, I guess, but your defenses are a little too strong. Nothing can get through at this point. But it's a good cover, and it's Rogue she's leaning on a pinball table, and she's blowing a bubble, and she's got the 80s workout wear, cheetah print top that's drooping, and then you've got the spandex under it. It's a good piece. It's fine to me, right?
Oh, I see it here. Hold on.
It's not bad, but it's. Oh yeah, why don't I just Google?
I just sent it to you.
Oh, perfect. My hero. Yes, Andrew, with the save. Pull that up. Jump us over to our browser. Hope we're on the right one. Yeah, this one, guys. So, I thought it was cheetah print for some reason. Probably just all the sparkling lights. So, this one's good, right? But it also, something about it bugs me, and it feels like the proportions are off. And I think that's because of Rogue's jacket and the way it's sitting on her back, so it covers that the whale tail part of her butt and then that side of her back, right? And then just the general 80s hair is so big to me. And it was before my time. I've never really been a big fan of it, but it's a good piece. I just couldn't bring myself to drop the 5 on it, Not criticizing you, Punk. If you love it, buy it. That's like the number one principle we exist on here at Foil Variant. I'm just noting to Andrew that this is an artist we both like, a character we both like, in a setting pose that we, on paper, should love. And for me, it's not hitting. I don't know about you. Like, would you have grabbed this one? Yeah.
No, I wouldn't have spent $4.99 or $5.99.
That's what I mean. Like, it's fine. It's good. Like, it's compositionally great. I really like the 80s look of the Rogue on the pinball machine, too. Like, it's her ugly 80s look when she had, like, her hair slicked back and she was evil. So, pretty good. But yeah, Punk, glad you are here and glad you grabbed some comics, as always. Let's see. We also have... Zero is here with, he was one of our audio technicians helping us out with the sound, along with Enrique. How's it going, Enrique? Zero asks, so Venom is going back to Eddie Brock, ? Andrew, do you know what he's talking about? Do you have any idea what Zero is referencing?
Very vaguely. I heard that there's rumor that MJ won't be Venom anymore after the Queen of Black event wraps up.
So that's always, you and I've always kind of guessed that, right? Like it's a natural cadence for that story to go. But last night, the solicitations for January came out. I forget which month, but there is no Venom book. So it's like,
I did see that. Yeah, I sent that in the solicitations link.
Yeah, you did. Yep, exactly. And so people are wondering, like, oh no, like, are we done with Venom things in general? For now, obviously, they're not going to retire Venom as a character. That's never going to happen. So people are going, are we sunsetting, like, or not sunsetting, but like, we'll check in on you later, Venom? Or is it just like, we're going to get a new series that pops out of Queen in Black? I have no idea. But I did want to highlight it from Zero because I know how I feel about MJ leaving. Andrew, are you ready? Because I'm genuinely not ready. I really like what we're doing here.
I was already enjoying it, and then the last handful of issues has really hit a new rhythm, and MJ and Venom went full synchro, and I'm like here for it, and I'm ready for more. So I'm hoping that this is like a feint, and instead we are going to get at least another arc or two of like MJ fully synced with,
or if it's like if it's a new Venom series and it's like, oh, we know we're launching the series to bring Eddie back. Make it an arc that's centric with MJ and make it work naturally. Like, I don't want you to go. I'm not ready for her to go. Right? Like, I think this works right now.
No, it's working too darn well. The storytelling's too good.
We're about to get fucking. I smile every time I think about him. Captain Alliance is about to he's about to unify like the strongest Marvel characters. Like, we got Scarlet Witch, Iron Man, Phoenix, Nova coming into that fight when Queen in Black starts. So
that's a lot of heavy hitters.
All I'm saying is, like, I'm glad
like,
they
actually,
clearly...
all things considered, like, MJ Venom is like the lightweight or the featherweight.
And that's what I was going to say. At the very least, like, I'm glad they all learned from Venom War that, like, your first wave, like, Venom War, the King in Black, like, your first wave cannot be street level heroes. Like, you need power if symbiotes invade. Like, you absolutely need it.
We're getting Wanda, we're getting Jean. Okay, we're going to be all right.
Zero also asks, weren't you guys supposed to discuss Spider-Man from last week? That's the problem, right? So last week we said we'll catch up on Spider-Man. It's the easiest thing to skip. Well, it's the easiest thing to skip this week easily,
nothing
but
happens.
Also, like, that's the more of it, right? Is like, yes, last week we said we have an amazing, we don't have time. We have one coming this week. We'll get to it then. We got this week's issue. I shit you not, like, I am confident in saying it will be the last thing we talk about because Andrew and I couldn't even muster more than 2 messages between us on it.
Yeah.
Right? Even though when we show it to you guys, all of you guys will probably like hang your heads in your hand. It's just that. Bleh.
Yeah.
And then when you have like really good things coming out, like over at DC, sorry about that. We're going to probably spend more time. Yeah. Let's see.
Comic stack triage. That's what it is.
Yeah. Zero also says, and this will be the last one before we get into comics.
I've been seeing the Tokon trailers.
You've seen the Tokon trailers. Guys, if you haven't, obviously with Comic-Con on a roll, we're getting more Tokon info coming out. It's also, the release date is rapidly approaching. Today we got confirmation of the first DLC character for that fighting game. Dude, it's fucking Phoenix Cyclops. Like, I am...
Phoenix Force Cyclops.
I'm
That's
shocked.
crazy.
I am beyond excited. Like, this year's... Cyclops is getting so much PR in the last, 5 years. And the man fucking deserves it.
He needs it. Is what it is.
I saw a post.
Cyclops had a rough 2000s and 2010s.
What do they call it? Like the Dark Ages or like the Forgotten, whatever it was, when they were like, oh no, we love the Inhumans. No, now we hate the Inhumans. I saw a post about all this Cyclops stuff that was like, oh, it was one of those accounts that's like Mutant of the Day, right? And it's just like, Mutant of the Day, Logan, Codename Wolverine, quick little thing and some pages. They were like Mutant of the Day, Cyclops, because he's that fucking cool, right? And I'm like, yes, but I also laughed to myself because I was like, but he's not cool. And that's kind of specifically what makes him cool. Like, Scott being that straight-laced dork is what makes him fucking cool. You don't get like, it's time to like get the Sentinel off my lawn without, I don't know if we should be doing this, everybody. The professor said no, right?
Yeah.
Like, which is oxymoron, if you will.
At least more classic Psych.
Zero also says, I saw that Marvel has really been working on fixing the X-Men and also showing the consequences of the Krakoa era. Yes.
Kind of.
I know, like
it. Here's the problem with that.
Yeah.
Because yes, there's consequences being shown for the Krakoan era, which I think is important.
Very much so, yes.
Because they basically turned the X-Men into an ethno state and tried to prop it up as that being a good thing, right? And then the fallout of Krakoa ends up resulting in a negative, which is now we're back to, everybody's afraid of mutants, and now mutant prejudice is a thing. I'm like, guys, you got to find a better balance than that. Like, you got to do better.
I didn't notice. I'm actually going to eat a bit of crow here because, and it's only a bit because what I'm about to say, unfortunately didn't really go anywhere. But follow me here. So, exceptional X-Men, or so follow me a little harder. So, as Zero brings up Krakoa era, big war, all of that goes down. We then have the From the Ashes relaunch, which we are currently still in the middle of right now. So, X-Force, X-Men, Uncanny X-Men, Exceptional X-Men. Now, if you guys remember, Exceptional was the series starring Emma Frost and Kitty with the...
Starring Emma Frost, that's hilarious statement.
I know. That's what I was going to say, starring at Emma Frost, but she showed up maybe 3 times. But you guys will remember that series because we were excited for it because of Emma.
And then we panned it.
And then it just went completely down the tubes. But I saw somebody sharing some pages from that run today. And if you go back and look, Kitty, speaking of consequences from Krakoa, if you look at a lot of Kitty's dialogue bubbles or inner thought bubbles, she's really what the hell was the point of that? Why did we do that? I killed a bunch of people and what? Now I'm back to this? What is my life? That is, I think, as soon as I saw that and I realized, I was like, okay, Eve Ewing, who wrote it, that's a really good point that not even you, but any good X-Men writer should have followed up on at this point. Because that was one of our complaints, which is we're just back to mutants are bad again. Are we fucking kidding? We can't do this. Or we can do this, but we're fucking tired of it. So, I think the reason it got lost to us is because they don't focus on it, and it kind of wraps into the general drama of Kitty's life, right? Because she's like, okay, this sucks, and now that girl stood me up on a date, and now Emma's bugging me, and what was this all for? And so in the moment you're you're just whining, but if you take that step back, you're oh, you are whining, but you're also it's all rooted. It feels 100 times worse to her because of all that guilt from Krakoa. But as we know, nobody ever did anything with it.
And there's just too much focus on I'm sorry. I know there are Shadowcat fans out there. I don't give a shit about Kitty Pryde. I never have. And I
like Evolution Kitty Pryde. That's pretty much where my affection for her.
I don't even like Evolution.
I know you
overall,
don't.
but I can even agree with that. At least comparatively, she belongs with Colossus first and foremost, but also even outside of that, I just don't care about putting so much of the focus of what's supposed to be one of your main 3 X-line books on just like her interpersonal crap. I don't care.
Right, like if that was the central theme of the book, like, okay, Kitty's taking on these kids, but what are we fucking doing here, right? Like,
we're spending half of the book on her social life.
That's the problem.
And I don't care.
We could have had almost like a natural second schism type of arc, right? Remember where Cyclops wanted to militarize everybody? Wolverine said, "Are you out of your fucking mind?" Perfect moment for, Kitty is a Logan daughter, as they're like colloquially called on Twitter. That's the term I've started to see. And
is that really a thing?
I think it's just a colloquial one. Like you're a Logan daughter if like X-23, Shadowcat, Jubilee, just like the young mutant girls he always takes under his wing. Which, like, I don't know how they did it. Thank God, Marvel, but I've never seen anybody imply anything creepy about that between Wolverine and anybody else, and I've never read it as such. I've always read it as like genuine
not in
samurai
616. Yeah, not in 616, but I think there was a whole big to-do during the 1610 Ultimate Universe and Ultimate X-Men, where like there was some interaction, a conversation that like tried to frame Logan that way.
No, that was
and it did not go well.
Yeah, well, that was with MJ, right? Like it was when Peter or like Jean Grey got mad at Logan and swapped his brain with Peter Parker's, and then they have it switch back, and at the end of the issue, MJ's like, Peter, like, I'm glad you're back to normal, but about that thing you talked about earlier, how about we wait till we're older or whatever, right? And it's like, in the moment, everybody, I remember being a kid, right? And being like, oh, funny joke, haha, it wasn't him. But then as you grow up, the implications get weirder, where it's like, oh, grown-ass man, first thought when he was in a teenager's body is like, go hit on a teenager. All right, whatever. But, so you could have had a really interesting parallel there where Kitty is like, we can't do this anymore. Just like Logan was right all those years ago. We can't militarize like this. And maybe she becomes an antagonist, right? Like, I don't know, anything could have been done better than what we actually got with From the Ashes. So
I was going to say, like, the bar was subterranean. You could have done anything.
And that's the thing is, like, on one hand, I feel like in every non-comic book media, yes, the X-Men and specifically Cyclops are getting, they're glazing right now, which they deserve. Tokon is looking great. For all as shitty as the movie might turn out to be, Avengers Doomsday, the X-Men look, at least for Cyclops, looks really good. X-Men 97 has been a rave success, even in the second season. So they are rehabilitating them to an extent.
And the X-Men have become, like, extra popular as well because of Marvel Rivals.
Oh, yes, of course, with, like, every mutant and their mother being added into Marvel Rivals. How could I fucking forget? But, yeah, like, with all that, I don't remember where I was going with that, but in the comic books, it doesn't feel like they're working to rehabilitate anybody, except for, like, Gale has been doing great. Even when it got rocky, I still have to give it to Gale to being
and she's still doing better than the rest.
That's what I mean. Like, it gets rocky in her book,
even
and I'm like,
even at her rockiest, right?
And I'm like, it's rocky, but it's still an X-Men book. Like, I can still see this as a good X-Men book, right? Like, okay, like we're good. But aside from that, it's what Andrew and I feel like it's what Andrew and I always talk about, where the X-Men are just trapped in that loop of everybody.
It's a never-ending
us,
cycle.
Nobody likes us. Somebody likes us. Nobody likes us, and it's just
it's House of Status Quo, and Marvel. Hopefully, this will change with Whacker, right?
We'll see, pray.
Because for decades now, both the X offices and the Spider office have operated under this stupid premise and notion that you have to keep these characters kind of trapped in a time capsule in perpetuity, where they like Peter Parker, he's always got to be down on his luck, he's always got to be broke, he's always got to be like, and it's like, no, you don't, absolutely not. It's called It's called character growth. It's called story arcs. It's called good
trusting
writing.
your reader, right?
Yeah.
Like that's
and if people are
yeah.
wondering, like, hey, there was a time when, you know, Peter was constantly down on his luck, or there was a time where the mutants there was strong prejudice against them and all of this. And, you know, and people who are just getting into comics more recently, they're like, really? That's not what's happening now. Yeah, you know how to fix that? Go read the older books.
Like they're all there.
Now what you're doing is you're cross-promoting your older work and selling more of your trades.
And you're potentially seeding future fans, right?
Yeah.
Like they, again.
It's so stupid.
That's what, it always feels so insulting to me, that idea, because this is what Marvel really operates on. And to what you said, we talked about it last week, where aside from the Whacker switch up, right, there was, I mentioned how a couple months ago there was a big editorial shift over at Marvel where they canned a bunch of people, one of them being their like head of publishing, who was the guy who was like, we got to keep like rebooting, we got to keep doing like, we're not rebooting the universe, but the books, Scarlet Witch being our infamous example. I mean, I realized today, Andrew, that there's a, like, okay, look, new issue, or new, Godzilla Conquers the Multiverse, right? Ongoing in the Godzilla versus Marvel event or line that they've been doing. There have been three or four, I think only 3 series right now that are in this line, and it's all one continuous story. But for some reason, they're just going, okay, cut that, number 1 now. Yeah. Which is like, it's easier to follow than like a Scarlet Witch, right? Because it's Godzilla blank. Like, okay, I can follow one month to the other. But I do know there are people who go, okay, I was reading Scarlet Witch, I like it. Oh, it's gone. Scarlet Witch and Vision, same team. Okay, I'm sure it's good, but that's not the story I was invested in. And they leave. And that keeps happening as you. I think it took until like Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch, or like 3 or 4 in, where you finally were like, oh no, they're all the same book. And I was like, really? And you're like, oh yeah,
it's all a continuous
and I was like,
story.
What the hell? So
they're just like renumbering it, rebooting the numbering every 5 to 7 issues. Well, actually, the current one, Sorcerer Supreme, is the longest running one so far. It's at like issue 8 or 9.
I was going to say it's at like 8, which is like, whoa, we're swinging for the fences with this.
Oh yeah, we're really going for the fences. Yeah.
But the thing that always like gets me about that idea that you always got to have a number 1, or more specifically what you were talking about, where like, if I open up a book, everybody should mostly resemble how the popular image of them is, the casual image of them is. The problem with that, is as we see, nobody gets to grow. Almost every character right now.
Everyone becomes a static character.
I can't think of a genuine Marvel character right now outside of Venom, with the leap to MJ, like the Venom symbiote with the leap to MJ. I can't think of a character who's been allowed to have like genuine development. Oh, I guess Eddie with Dylan.
Yeah. That was started by Cates.
The Fantastic Four had their kids in the 80s, guys. Valeria and Franklin should not be 8 years old still.
No.
Right? Like by no measure. And it always just feels insulting, because there's always that fear that if you throw somebody into the deep end, they're not going to know how to swim. And they'll get overwhelmed and they'll go, oh my God, oh, I'm drowning. And you'll have to get them, and they'll go, I didn't like that. I don't want to do that ever again. And it sucks, and you don't want to run that risk.
That's why you have jumping on points.
That's why you have jumping on points, but you also can't be so militant about the pool where you're going like, I'm going to make sure all of you are only swimming in this one lane, like this one lap lane. I don't care, like, oh, you were swimming in the big one before. No, you're getting into this lane because it's easier for us to keep an eye on you and for all of you to stay in the area. Like, fine, but nobody's going to want to go to that pool if you keep barring us for no reason, or not even barring, like, you say it's over there, and you go, yeah, you can go swim in the old pool, which is like big and free, but the new one we've done all the upgrades to, you got to stay right here. And it sucks. Nobody's going to want to do it. And it's just insulting because you and I have talked about this. You and I, for example, jumped on it insanely confusing points. If we want to, either at like our childhood or when we got back into it. Like,
my first Superman and Flash comics, which were my first superhero comics, were the issues immediately after 0 Hour.
the
For
first
God's
issues
sake.
when I was a child that my mom took me to a comic book store and I said, I want those two, and pulled them off the shelf. Spider-Man 2099 #1, because it was shiny and red, and the issue Spectacular Spider-Man 228, where Peter hangs up the webs and gives the identity to Ben permanently.
Mm-hmm.
Insane jumping on points for
Those are wild jumping on points.
if
Nobody in their right mind would recommend those books
and
as their
yet,
jumping on points.
Here we are,
Yeah.
20, 30 years
30
later.
years later.
Running a comic book show, you and I having been like, we are now members of this industry. Like, it's not that hard, and it just always feels so insulting. Because, and again, we have DC right there. You just go, okay, Superman's got a kid, Batman's got a kid. I was going to say Wonder Woman has a kid, but I don't want to tell anybody about that.
No, we
right?
don't
Like,
talk about Trinity.
Wally has another kid.
Wally
right?
has 3 kids, which is stupid.
And
They should have
people-
actually put some growth on the 2.
On the two,
On the
but
twins.
we are where we are, right? And it's more to just show that like they're allowed to grow, and then people will go, what? How'd that happen? And like Andrew said, you just say, read this.
Yeah.
Right? Like, just toss them a book. That's how I got my sister into a lot of comic books. Like, she loved the Teen Titans cartoon, and I eventually started like telling her about like one of the storylines one day when we were hanging out. She's like, I want to know that. And I was like, yeah, it's right here. Here's the trade. And it's off to the races, to the point where it's buried right now, but on my bookshelf right here is a novel like a DC universe with the old like New 52 or pre-52 branding, and it's like a Tempest Batman Nightwing novel that she like went out and bought on her own, which is like, it doesn't take a lot, guys. You just got to trust them. What did you just hold up? I totally missed that because I was talking, because I was looking behind me. Oh shit, I clicked the wrong button. There we go. So good. Also,
One of the best runs on the title ever.
Really funny with the Superboy stuff this week that like they're referencing events from this era when Connor looked like that, but they have him currently in his like good outfit.
I was gonna say like in not the jeans and t-shirt, which
like, I
have never liked in my life.
It's fine for like casual. I remember liking it back in that era.
That's when he walked around as a casual guy, but like when he's going to fight, he's still like, wearing it.
Like in that era when it was like, you know, black leather with the X-Men, I was like, oh, that kind of works, right? Like you're a kid, especially because he was a kid. That was what gave me a lot. And it's post when he learns about the Lex DNA. So I was like, oh,
well, I mean, he learns about that in this.
But isn't that like really early before he puts the shirt on? I thought he was still rocking the suit. I might be wrong. It's been a while.
No, I mean, he learns about it in this trade specifically.
But it's like early, I mean. That's what I thought.
He's still rocking just the t-shirt and all that.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, it's been a while. But my point in all that is that the recent stuff just makes me smile because I'm like, oh yeah, you are technically the same character, even though you look radically different.
Yeah. Sorry, I flipped
this
open to a page and that just started reading because I freaking love this book.
I finally put it away to get it out of. I bought my brother-in-law, and I know he watches the show, so I'm sorry, Fred. I'm sorry if you watch this and you spoil part of your birthday present. But for his birthday, I bought him the Under the Red Hood compact, which is like a fat beast for $10.
That thing's huge.
It's giant, dude. It's crazy.
It's one of the largest ones that they've done.
It's hard. Like, I look at that, and then I look at like the We 3 one or the 3 Jokers that are like.
Oh yeah.
Because there's 6 issues. Well, 3 Jokers is like 3, and it's stupid. But like We 3 is 6 issues, and that's still super tiny. But yeah, I've had it around my office, and so like I'll sit down. I'm like, oh, I got to move that, and I'll open it. And I'm just sitting there, and I'm like, man, this is a pretty fun story. Shit, I got things to do. Crap, like, I got to go do things. Zero asks, is that the 2000s Fantastic Four cartoon? Yes, it is, my friend. Fantastic Four, World's Greatest Heroes. Pretty decent one-off shot cartoon. One of those series that kind of, like, existed in such a weird limbo space that they kind of were allowed to do whatever they want. which means do the comic books. So you get a lot of like She-Hulk and Ant-Man and Banner. Like, it's pretty good. So I would recommend watching it, even if the designs get a little outdated. But with that, Andrew, what do you say we talk comic books, or at least some comic book related media?
Let's talk some comic books and comic book related media.
My friend, where do you want to start tonight? Do you want to start, just get the Doomsday stuff out of the way, kick it out, or do we want to get into the Superman stuff off the jump? Obviously, we're gonna stick with Spider-Man for the end.
Let's knock out the Doomsday stuff.
All right. And by the way, I don't know if you picked these up, but it's Street Fighter swimsuit week, baby.
I didn't see those at all.
Yeah, with the Ray Q covers.
Hold on. Who am I seeing? I see Cammy. I see my girl Cammy.
You see
Chun-Li. And who's the?
That's Crimson Viper.
Oh, Viper.
Yeah.
Oh, I need that one.
Yeah, Cammy.
Shoot, hold on. I'm pulling up Midtown Comics right now.
And then of course there was one of these. Our Dodson.
Oh, nice, the Dodson.
Dodson Wonder Woman.
What specific book is that? That has that Crimson Viper cover?
This is the Street Fighter Swimsuit Special 2026, 7. I don't remember what year, how they do their year numbering.
See. Oh, and there it is. There is the.
There's also a Jury
Crimson
one,
Viper.
but I think that one is like con exclusive.
That one. Let's see. It is cover E incentive is what it is. Yeah, it's $18 on Midtown. I'm not a big enough Jury guy to care. Spend that.
I'll be your goon guide here, guys. All right. Rather than spend $20 on that cover, because it's a good cover, you should save your money and instead buy. Come on. Udon's collection, like their.
Yeah.
This is essentially the same. You're gonna get it's Jury. You're gonna get a foot cover, and it's essentially the same setup. So yeah, definitely recommend you guys go grab the collected editions over just a single one. But all right, put all that back. Oh, there's also for you and me. There's another Pie Shantae cover this year at Comic-Con that I'm gonna try and get us, because that gold bikini one from last year is fantastic.
Yeah,
it's
it
so
is.
Good.
I've got a set of Shantae covers coming at some point this summer.
Oh man, dude!
That I ordered straight off of Udon.
Speaking of like our physical pull, dude, Andrew managed to get the new J. Scott Campbell set of MJ covers. That's crazy.
Yes, I did.
That's fucking crazy.
I was
to me.
so shocked. Like, because usually I get in like the minute of or the minute after those collections of his go live, and everything I want is already sold out because freaking scalpers, right? Whether it's bots,
did he do the thing again where he's like, you can get cover A and C and then cover B and D, or cover like B and A, but you couldn't get all of them?
I think it was just you could get A, or you could get B, or you could get A, B, and C. I don't think C was available. The Virgin cover I don't think was available.
You know what? And that completely makes sense. But
yeah.
Are they signed or anything? I forget how he does his. I genuinely always
he offers them signed or unsigned, and I always choose the signed ones.
Yeah, got it.
All my Campbell covers are signed.
I mean, he's your guy. How could you not? Right?
Yeah.
All right. So guys, let's start. Let's talk a little bit of Avengers Doomsday. Obviously, we're gonna bring the trailer up here just so you guys have something to look at while we are hanging out. But let's make sure that's muted, because I don't really need to hear this for the umpteenth time. So, yes, obviously this trailer came out. What was it, like Monday? I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I streamed Monday, and then World Class Bullshitters was on Tuesday. So yes, that timeline makes sense. First full official trailer for Doomsday. If you guys want to hear our individual takes on what we think of the trailer, head on over to World Class Bullshitters, subscribe, go watch Tuesday's live stream, go over to my channel, Kabuto Studios, go watch my Monday Magic stream where, courtesy of Andrew, kicking me in the pants to be a proper streamer, was like, why don't you start off with some Doomsday trailer talk? And I was like, you know what? That's a smart idea. That's a smart idea. So smart, Andrew, that I even went back and I edited the stream title, because I was like, oh yeah, might as well get this SEO bait in here. But So with the trailer release, there has been, or blah, 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 blah. So let me reset that. Prior to the trailer release, obviously with most blockbuster movies, there have been plot leaks flying around the internet. Obviously with, things like Marvel or Star Wars or these big franchise, like, you can kind of make things up. And that it's a skill that you guys have to develop. Like, I know I have it, I know you have it, obviously from just being comic book fans, but also from, being in the media, like the comic book media. You can tell when, like, same rules that apply to real life. If something sounds too good or too insanely bad, you kind of got to go, I don't know if that's entirely true. There might be a bit,
right?
But you never know. I think I've told the story before, but prior to The Force Awakens, this is the only time I got spoiled hard, but I got away with it. Where prior to The Force Awakens, I was, I don't know, Twitter, 4chan's comic board somewhere, and I'm scrolling, and somebody goes, check this out, just saw like a screening of Star Wars, and they didn't blur it or hide it or anything, and it was just like, Han Solo dies. And I remember, and I went, like, I didn't care, like, it wasn't like, oh, my favorite character, it was just like, I wish I didn't know that, like, it kind of ruins the movie viewing experience, right? Like, I feel like that's a big reveal, and I felt, like, genuinely bad about it. But then, literally, like, the next day, I saw another post that was just as earnest, where somebody said, Luke Skywalker dies. And then I saw another one where it was just as earnest that Princess Leia dies. So at that point, I was like, well, it could be anything. So I'm not going to pay attention to any of them.
Yeah.
Which is a generally good rule. Of course, as more information becomes available, we're always able to go back and review and see if anything lines up. And in this case, there have been several plot leaks going across the internet since about December, where they had the first, I believe it was the first teaser at CinemaCon, which was when they also started releasing like that Steve Rogers countdown trailer. Remember that one where he just like takes his like suit out of the like chest?
Yeah, I do remember that.
Steve Rogers will return. So around then, a bunch of supposed plot leaks were coming out for Doomsday. At the time, obviously, like we just reviewed, so much was in the air that you could have said literally anything, and you could have gone, okay, well, sure. With this trailer, we now have confirmation that so there is, how do I put this? There are variations of this base, like, plot leak, right? And some of them have different details here and there. This character is here, this fight happens, yada yada. But they all generally follow this same structure. And the structure, as I'll review with you guys in a second, as soon as I'm done preambling. Whoops, I need to read. That's for me to read, not you guys to read. With this trailer, the majority of the plot leak that has been out seems to be confirmed. And it generally just feels really messy. So you guys can easily find these leaks. Go on Google, go on Twitter, just search Doomsday leak. 700 different versions are going to pop up. Like I said, they all generally follow this cadence. So, Andrew, I have sent this to you in case you want to like point out anything or call me out, but this is just generally so we both know what we're talking about. I'm obviously not going to read the entire thing because that's just boring for everybody to hear. Yeah. But here is the general outline of what it looks like the events of Doomsday will be. So, you guys saw earlier in the trailer, there is that shot of Professor X. He sees an incursion, and he's like, it's blowing up. Apparently, the movie is going to open with Logan and Deadpool going to the Sony Earth, so like Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man Earth, and detonating a bomb to blow it up, to save it from the incursion. Which, I'm already, like, at that point, I'm already weirded out here. Right? Like,
yeah, that would be honestly a ticket pull for me.
I mean, obviously, Toby and Spider-Man getting blown up is like a kick in the dick. But this idea that the X-Men are going to willingly and actively engage in blowing up the incursions, like, here, I'm trying to pull up a page really quick because you might have put this together, Andrew, considering what I've been bothering or bugging you with this week. But
Mm-hmm.
I randomly decided to go back and read all of Hickman's Time Runs Out portion of his run. So that's the New Avengers run where the Illuminati gets back together and there are incursions. They learn about incursions, and it all eventually comes to a head with, Secret War and then Old Cap and Tony beating the crap out of each other. So in one of I've got to pull it up because it's such a good moment. There is, and it's really early on, which is just this is Hickman, man. Yes. All right. Yeah. Ugh, this man. This freak. Just let him write everything, Andrew. Everything. Go get your pre-orders in for ArcStream. Do it now. This is your mid-show reminder. Mid-show reminder. But for those who don't remember this arc in the comic books, essentially what has happened is all of the, everybody, who is it? Like Doctor Strange, the Illuminati is together. Doctor Strange, Reed Richards, Black Bolt, Iron Man, Namor, Professor X. At this point in time, the Illuminati's been revealed, and it's caused a whole bunch of things. And right now, the central thing in Marvel is that everybody knows the Illuminati is bad, but they're now facing incursions, and they're like Black Panther says something about I told you guys not to do this, and the only reason I've invited you here to Wakanda is because there's no other option to save the planet. And right here, they're all gathered, and they're all gathering, they're all going, well, what do we do? If Earth's touch, then they blow up. I guess we can blow it up. And Steve straight up says, absolutely not, right? Mm-hmm. And he says, does he say it here? But basically, he stands up, and he goes no, what we're going to do is we're going to analyze this problem, and we are going to win, because that is what we do. And I get that the X-Men are not as morally sturdy as Captain America. I get that, guys.
Few Marvel characters are.
It's true.
Honestly. Steve is just that guy.
It really is just Steve, and then Peter Parker when he's not around. You know what I mean? Everybody fucking looks at Peter like this, but not when he's physically around them, because they're just oh, you're dork. But this is what I mean. Okay, even Professor X being okay with going to other universes to blowing Namor does it in this comic, and that's the big conflict. Everybody goes what the hell is wrong with you? You blew up an Earth, and he goes, how else was I going to save this one? And it still doesn't work. Obviously, that's a plot. That's just me bitching. But anyway, so back to Doomsday. That are like Andrew and I said, that already is we're off to a really, really, really weird start. From there, the essential plot turns out to be Doom knows that these anomalies are coming. So he reaches out to the Fantastic Four, and he basically says we need to stop them, and I need your help to go to other universes and convince the Avengers and the heroes there to help us. Obviously, he goes to the Four because they're also heroes, and heroes will listen to heroes. Clearly, he's never read a single comic book in his life.
All right.
Once they get there, they go to the X-Men universe. They fight the Sentinels. They have their dust up. Eventually, everybody calms down, and Doom explains that the plan is to make giant cannons that will push the Earths away. It's comic booky in a bad way. You know what I mean, Andrew?
I was gonna say that's this isn't the type of movie where you try something campy like that.
And it just doesn't feel right. Yeah, campy might be it's overly camp. So
that's one of those things where if you're watching I don't know, a seed if that happened in season 1 of Supergirl, right?
Yeah.
On and was it NBC? I always forget which channel it was. CBS.
ABC,
it was one of them.
I think was the first one.
It was one of those. I can't keep track of which one's which. But
I know it's at least on a channel that goes on basic cable, because my dad was a miser before he died, and he did not want to buy cable. But we watched Supergirl every week in HD, and I remember, so I know it's got to be on one of those.
Okay, good to know. But if that had happened in season 1 of Supergirl, I would have been because comics, right? But in a movie like this, no. I'm not expecting cuz comics in a movie like this.
Like, you could do something where it's like we change the frequencies or something, but like just we're gonna push them away. That's Silver Age in a bad way, and just doesn't work
that's
here.
Superman flying around the world to turn back time. Like, come on, I know,
but with extra steps, yeah.
Right, like it. Come on, like that. That's stupid.
That's a really.
That's
good way
actually
to put it.
stupid. It's actually stupid.
But don't worry, Andrew, because after they develop the cannons, they decide that, okay, we got to split into teams and go put them on different worlds. The Fantastic Four and the Thunderbolts go to Wakanda on our Earth, and then the Avengers go to the X-Men universe with the X-Men and do something. But Steve and Thor, they take a temporary detour to the TVA because, so I didn't know how to really needle this into the plot or wiggle this into the plot, but let me think for a second. I think I still can without looking like a big dum-dum. Okay, so yeah. So Steve and Thor, as part of one of their missions, go to the TVA because they say, hey, you know who can help us stop this? Loki. Steve says, I know that there's a Loki that's still alive. He, at some point, met the, TVA TV Loki. They go there only to see that everybody is massacred. The TVA is fucking dead, including Loki. And essentially the reveal becomes Doom is not necessarily trying to help the Earths. He's trying to accelerate it and let everything come and collapse because he had a... this is so dumb, Andrew. I really hate what I'm about to explain. Dr. Doom,
Oh, boy.
his origin story is that he had a wife and a kid, and then because of an incursion, it got stopped, but it hurt, it killed his wife and kid. So now he's out to just he wants the power to remake the multiverse as he wants. So essentially they're not cannons to push them away, they're cannons to blow up everything. He wants Franklin to use his reality warping powers, and so the incursion on his Earth, on the Fantastic Four's Earth, is caused by the fact that they're going to reveal that Steve, after he went back and put all the stones in place, where he goes to live with Peggy is the Fantastic Four's universe. So they're going to go, there was a part where this arguably, Andrew, sounded kind of cool if I'd have seen it in the movie, but Doom tells it, he's talking to the Four, and he's like, we need to go do all this, blah, 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 blah. And then Reed asks, well, what causes this? And Doom goes, beings from another universe, jumping in between, and it only gets worse if they live here. And he goes, and Reed goes, well, we would know, there's nobody living here. And Doom goes, are you sure? And they hit a planet-wide scan for multiversal energy, and one blip comes up. And
right,
it's
and
Steve.
it's
and that could have been cool. If they weren't, if we didn't already see the behind the scenes thing of we got to get Chris Evans back and yada yada, that could have been a cool reveal, right? I'd have been oh shit, that's crazy.
That could have been a cool reveal, but it feels weightless against the fact that we know Marvel Studios desperately needed Chris Evans and RDJ back. You don't get to play that card and actually have me be surprised. Because we have the context of the last several years, the last 2 or 3 phases. I don't know what phase we're even in now.
I think they kind of gave up on phases.
Everything after Endgame, basically, with the exception of 3 movies, right? Doctor Strange, Madness in the Madness of the Multiverse did well. It did well. It's not a good movie, but it did well. It still had enough goodwill from general audiences where they're oh yeah, I'll check out more Doctor Strange, and then apparently they didn't like the movie enough to where they wanted to come back for anything else. Then
Scramble!
People came, even though it's literally the worst of all the live action Spider-Man films. People showed up for Far From Home, and people showed up for No Way Home for obvious reasons, right? But aside from that, what's actually done well? Nothing. And you know what's a commonality amongst all of those movies?
Did well among audiences. I think I could say
it
that.
Did well because it was a good movie, but nobody went to see it.
And then nobody. I think you and I are pretty representative of the the masses, where it's that was great. I don't necessarily need to see another one of them. I don't care about the MCU now. I like the Thunderbolts. I don't really care about the MCU.
It was a good movie. It told a good story. I liked the characters. I like what was done with the characters for the most part. I would have changed a little bit how they handled Bucky, but otherwise, like, I had a good time with the movie, you know? But the fact of the matter is, most people didn't go see it. They didn't even give it the chance. They were already tapped out. They're like, MCU, I'm done. Like, okay, right? I don't need any more of it. I'm not interested anymore. And you know what a commonality is amongst all of those movies? You don't have Chris Evans or Robert Downey Jr.
But that's the lesson they took, though. Instead of going like, oh, they were just badly written and we tried too much shit, they went, why didn't anybody like it? Because it wasn't Chris Evans and Tony Stark or RDJ, which gets exceptionally even funnier, Andrew, when you remember that, like, for years Marvel Comics was like, no, Sam is Captain America, you shut the fuck up, right? Like, we're not backing down from this. The second Sam gets his first movie and it does bad, not even because of the character or him, or Mackie, but because it just is a mess. And they go, oh, clearly we got to bring back Captain, like, Steve. Which is just like, dude, you guys are so... It's that desperation that you feel dripping off of every single move here, where maybe it would have felt cool if it was genuine, but because you know that they're all... It's not just like one or two guys, right? It's not just the Russos making a film. It's a board of people sitting there going like, what do we do here for maximum audience this, maximum that? How do we retain? And it's too technical and cynical, and it just doesn't... Like, when we got Avengers...
It's not about being in service of telling good stories.
Yeah, and like, when we got Avengers, and then especially the Infinity War Endgame, it felt like we got there by the hair of our skin. Like, yes, it was Disney money, and nobody said they wanted to go, but guys, that's a crazy endeavor that you would set out on. And you pulled it off. It's crazy that we got there with barely anybody missing. Like, only a handful of, like, heroes and villains were gone from that. Yeah. And here, you know, after that we went, okay, you guys killed it. Everybody knows Marvel now. You have all the money in the world. Why is it this bad? Right? Like,
yeah, you're just putting out stinker after stinker.
Right. And it feels like money laundering or embezzling. But it does. So, yeah, the Doom reveals that the incursion on their Earth was revealed by Steve living there. That's why he wants to, you know, rebuild the multiverse. Doom eventually goes back to his castle in Latveria to, like, execute his plan. While there, he, like, brings Steve... Oh, yeah. Peggy and Steve have a son, which is fine, whatever. I mean, duh, makes sense. Oh, we saw the baby. He's holding the baby. We know that. And Doom kills him in front of him because he's like, it's your fault that the incursions happened because you were a multiversal being. You killed my wife and kid. I'm going to do the same to you. From there is, you know, everybody prepares for war. We get an equivalent of the, like, Wakanda fight scene in Infinity War, but instead of any real fight happening, everything just kind of, like, blows up, right? Like they go to clash, and then everything just kind of, like, blinks out of existence because Doom accelerates it, everything smashes. We end the movie with a shot of Doom sitting on the throne to Battle World and going, da, 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 Secret Wars time, right? So, I don't know, like, I think we kind of broke it down a little too.
That doesn't inspire incitement.
There's no excitement here. There's none of this feels cool. It just feels really, really desperate. And I know, Andrew, that we're going to watch the movie and we're going to go, shit, seeing Steve throw, you know, Mjolnir at Doom, there's something in our nerd lizard brains that's going to go like, that was cool.
Sure.
That was cool. But we're going to, like, that, it's going to be it's almost like a roller coaster, right? It'll be that moment of excitement that pops, and then we go, okay, we're done.
Yeah.
Cool. So, I also don't even know if this is going to make as much money as I think it will. Like,
honestly, it might not. It depends on a couple of things. Obviously, if the movie is even remotely good, that'll help. But if this kind of a leak gets out, like, amongst general audiences, and they hear that, you know, Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man gets killed immediately, like in the first few minutes, they hear that, you know, a bunch of the classic X-Men characters get killed, that traditionally speaking, that doesn't land well with general audiences.
No,
it really doesn't. Like, us who are longtime comic readers, we don't like it either, but we're also like, oh, well, they'll be back in like 15 minutes, right?
And we'll do the like, didn't like that, but if you've got, prove it, like, sell me. Yeah. We'll do that. General audiences are not going to be that understanding, unfortunately, right? Like,
no, in some ways, they're even less forgiving.
Oh, 1,000. That's all, like, I can see it now, Andrew. It's going to just be like, they killed Spider-Man, and that will be the headline to every video, every article, and that alone
and all
is
of a sudden, that the weekend to weekend drop is just like a cliff.
It is going to go bad. And that's where it's like, you guys know us. We are realists here, where we go, we know it's in the bad spot, but we're not going to go the MCU is dead. We're not going to go this movie's going to fail. We're not disingenuous. We're intellectually honest with you guys. But that being said, normally we'd go an Avengers crossover movie. Okay, it'll make money. Like you pointed out, No Way Home made money, right?
Mm-hmm.
This just doesn't feel like it's there. No excitement, no energy. Even like this roster, Andrew, is like, where's all the main people, right? Where it's like where's Spider-Man? Where's the Guardians? Where's Miss Marvel? Where's Carol? Where's Monica? Instead,
why would you not have Monica or Carol in this, right?
At all. Like, this is where you need Carol. Like,
this is where you need, like, guys, whether you like it or not, this is where you need your heavy hitters on the tier of Carol Danvers.
And Carol Danvers is your heaviest hitter, and gone. I saw
in fact, you know what? I am 1,000% in support of. I am 1,000% in support of them bringing Carol back, whether it's in this film or in Secret Wars, and like they do a complete about face with her character. Fix her.
You can
make her a likable character. Make audiences want to get behind her and root for her.
I don't think I've ever talked to you about this, but because you never saw the Marvels, obviously, would never have expected you to, but I did. At the end of that movie, it ends with Carol. Again, movie is dog shit, guys. Don't ask me to explain how she got here, why she decides this. It is what it is, right? But at the end of the Marvels, Carol moves back to Earth, right? Like she's back. Like the final scene is her talking to Kamala in like flannel and a t-shirt. She's like, I'm home. Like, I don't know what to do here. The time is so shaky here. I could see if they could save Carol here so easy by going in this time skip, whether it's 2 months, 6 months, a year, 3 years between the Marvels and now. You don't even have to focus on it if you don't want to. If we really just want to skip it, you just go, Carol's life's been falling apart. Like, she came back to Earth and she didn't know what to do. And we can even play into the MCU. Like, she was raised way more alien than she's just so... She doesn't know how to go to a bar. She doesn't know how to order from a restaurant. She doesn't know how to do her laundry, things like that. And that spirals her into like a drinking thing. And she becomes your unstable, like, heavy hitter, right? Like, that was always what I liked about Carol, is that, like, she is strong. Like, she's a strong woman by definition.
She kind of had a chip on her shoulder.
Yeah, well, she had a chip on her shoulder, exactly. But and that thing going, like, she made it to Air Force on her own, like paid for everything on her own. They go over this in the Captain Marvel Dark Past mini that's out right now. It's the only reason I'm bringing it up, because there was a new issue this week and I read it, so it's on my brain. But like, she was pretty much self-made, and then she got like blasted by the Kree, and kind of like Spider-Man, like, it got thrust upon her, and she was like, holy shit, like, what? And she still found a way to be a hero. But it's that chip, right, like, that Andrew was describing, where she always kind of assumed everybody else was like talking shit on her, or like didn't think she was worthy of like being an Avenger or a hero. And that mentality, even as like us, right, like as normal people, if you go around thinking like, oh, those people don't think that much of me, like, they hate me, that's just going to cloud your head and get in your brain. Even if they do, you're going to make it way more worse, right? So it could be done. It seems too smart of an idea for
current MCU. Yeah,
it really is. Like, And okay,
that feels like Dan Slott trying to write Iron Man levels of reaching IQ. Ouch.
Dumb person writing smart character. Oh
yeah, smooth brain writing 250
I didn't bring this up
IQ.
last week because it would have just been too hard to fit in. But Stephen Wacker, I mentioned that he was also in charge of some of the Marvel TV stuff. He was a producer, like the executive producer on that documentary series Marvel 616, which was that very short, like 6-episode doc they did that just like explored various Marvel topics. One of them was the Marvel method. One of them was the origin and history of the Toei Japanese Spider-Man. The other one of them is our favorite, Andrew, the episode where Dan Slott gets a highlight and he just looks awful. Like nobody who thought, like whoever produced that hated Dan Slott. And now that it's Stephen Wacker, I'm like, we might be in good hands. We might have somebody who has a little Jim Shooter in him. A little.
Maybe a little bit. We'll see.
Tiny bit of Jim Shooter. But that's all. Like, I just wanted to bring that up, guys. Obviously, I wanted to go through the whole leak, but specifically, I wanted to get to the dumb Doom origin, the dumb blowing up of our Spider-Man. There are some leaks out there that say that after Battleworld, everybody comes back. I have no idea yet, and right now, I'm kind of
That's hard to verify because that movie is a year out.
And that's exactly what I was going to say. Is like right now, I'm inclined not to believe anything Secret Wars related because way too far out. Like, just no point in doing that. But to close it off, I had a thought that just popped in my head, Andrew. The one way, like, and I think I mean this genuinely. If Marvel wanted to like sell this movie and be like, we're trying again, and we're taking our L's and we're gonna like move forward, you put like Hercules and Clea in this trailer.
Oh shoot!
I would have been like, okay, fuck, okay,
yeah,
okay, like you guys know you're in trouble, but you're not just trying to get out of it. Whereas this, like. I hate to keep harping on it, but did you see that they're re-releasing Endgame in theaters? And they're adding extra footage on it. That's like, oh, this is gonna, help bring the story to Doomsday, and I'm just like, you're adding footage to a 20-year-old movie to connect it to this one. You guys fucked up impressively. That is bizarre to me.
That screams everything we've been saying about like the whole Doomsday and that pivot away from, the Kang and everything. We didn't have a freaking plan. This does not connect to everything that we did that was successful. So we have to make some shit up and attach it to the thing that was our last truly monumentally, unprecedentedly successful film in theaters in order for it to connect to this thing.
And guys, like I've seen people arguing like, oh, they set it up in all these, and I'm like, the argument, they're like, they showed Clea and Doctor Strange there's other dimensions. It's like, we knew that. The Marvels shows that there's other universes. Like, we knew that too from What If.
We knew.
Like, none of it, it's so vague the way they built it up. My favorite one was that, I think it's at the end of Shang-Chi, the post-credit scene is like Wong goes to Banner and Carol call Shang-Chi. And they're like, what, those 10 rings you have, they're giving off an energy. And we don't know what it's for. Like, dun, dun, dun. That could be you could have literally molded that. It's the Phoenix Force. It's Galactus. It's miles from another. It's not building to Doomsday, guys. You guys are trying way too hard to retrofit it.
You can't pull the wool over my eyes, Marvel Studios. You pulled this entire pivot towards Doomsday and Secret Wars straight out of your ass. I hope it's good, and I hope I enjoy it, but I'm not excited right now.
Go back and watch the reveal trailer, or at Comic-Con those years ago, where RDJ came out and he took off the mask for Doom, and it was go watch that trailer.
That was like a year ago, right?
Or so, yeah, like a year or two. It is like, you can even feel, like, yes, there are cheers, but it's not like the same thunderous roar. Like, it is very much like, yay, RDJ, right? Like, the initial, like, surprise falls, and then they remember it's RDJ, and which means I think this thing is like, it's on a back foot. It's fighting an uphill battle. I don't know. Good luck to you guys. I'm sure you and I will see it at some point.
Impress me.
Also, love this shot right here for an extra comic book trivia. Bucky is very clearly wearing a wig, and it is very, very bad. And it is obvious that this was a reshoot because he's currently filming Batman, where he's playing Zaz, where he has to shave his head. So I'm just like, fun little Henry Cavill has to go back and shoot Justice League moment.
Henry Cavill mustache removal.
I'm surprised they haven't gone back and like redone that with AI, right? Like maybe that's the one time I'd be okay with it.
Honestly, it probably somehow like whatever is the most popular video program for that could probably do a better job than what they did.
Like hands freaking down. But yeah. Oh, you guys might have seen. I know you liked it. They're at Comic-Con right now. In the Marvel booth, they have on display like Latverian witches costumes, and I was like, oh no, because that was the one thing in the leak that like stood out to me. That was like, they mentioned that like Doom brings Steve back, and there are 3 like his followers are all like Latverian witches, and one of them is Peggy, like or takes Peggy's face to manipulate Steve, and I was like, that sounds just dumb enough to be an MCU original. And so when they revealed that the costume, I went, "Oh no! They're doing it! They're doing it! Like this is true." So, also like I'm gonna do a deep dive video, I think, because what the hell is with this trend of like a royal ruler, and then there's like a manipulative group of like women who secretly rule or like follow him. We did this in Aquaman, in the comics, in the movies. This was the Black Panther, the ultimate Black Panther thing I told you about. Remember? Like,
oh yeah.
I don't know. Like, why are we doing so many of it? I don't know. And then, of course, Timon like reminded me on Twitter. It just brings up bad memories of Acolyte with the Force Witches. Oh. And I'm just like, well, I don't know, man. Latverian witches.
We are many. Oh.
We are one, I think. I don't know. Whatever that stupid shit was. But
I want to put my head through my desk.
We will obviously come to you with more Doomsday as it approaches, as we see it. Brand New Day is our next up film. It's coming up pretty soon.
Yeah,
I'm hearing really good things. Like today, I guess
I got a ticket. I wasn't able to get a ticket for any of the Thursday shows. I got my ticket on. It was like this past weekend, I think, or Friday maybe, and all of the showings for the Thursday show were completely sold out.
I think you and I said it last
all
week.
Of them were sold out for the Friday show too. Like I got one of the last available seats for the 11 p.m.
It's Spider-Man, guys. Like, A, it's Spider-Man, and B, it's looking good. So that makes me happy to hear that you had to it's packed. People are showing up. Yeah. I hope it's good. I'm seeing more and more stuff leak out. I think they might be showing some stuff at Comic-Con today, but like. I don't want to fall into that trap, but I can feel my soul like being pulled to like hopeful.
The fan in us just wants a good Spider-Man movie, you know?
A good Spider-Man anything at this point. Like, let's be completely honest with ourselves.
Okay, that's fair.
But with that note, let's jump over to comic books. Andrew, do we want to just, because we're here on Spider-Man, whip on Spider-Man, or do we want to just go to the good stuff?
Let's go to the good stuff.
All right. Which one do you want to start with? Because I only asked because of like the sequence of events are like interlaid. I'm thinking probably action, huh?
Let's hit action, then Superman 40. Then if we have time, Absolute Superman. And then if we have time still after that, we'll take 5 minutes for Amazing Spider-Man. Just to say, hey guys, just so you know, nothing happened.
Like it's really, 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 even by our standards, it's really, really, really bad. So jump over here. Comic book time, starting with Superman Action Comics 1100. 1100, guys, settle the debate for us. All right, whether you're watching live or you're watching in the VOD or you're a lurker, do you think this should count as like a monumental issue? I say it shouldn't. Andrew says it does. But I'm like, after 1,000, you only count 500. At like 1,000, 100, it's nothing special anymore. I can get it, but I don't feel it. So that's why when I saw like the big like landmark 1100th, I was like, no, shut up. Like, I wasn't mad. I was just like, no. Be cool.
I mean, I was just going on off of what it actually says on the cover and in the solicits, and I'm like, it says landmark issue on there, and I'm like,
yeah.
Okay.
Like, okay, I'll tune in. By the way, I love this full cover of like classic Siegel, like Superman flying into like Burn into I guess this is Ryan Sook. Like, it's really, really good. I really like it.
Yeah.
Then again, I think I'm just a sucker for that 90s Superman. I don't know why.
Oh yeah.
I just Howard Porter, go back to it. But all right.
Oh gosh,
so,
yeah.
For most of this issue, so this issue is divided into two parts. One is the main, I guess you would say, book, which is the ongoing Mark Waid, Skylar Partridge, Superboy story. The other is a slight crossover with Superboy Prime and the events of Superman. So obviously, Andrew and I have not been actively reading Action Comics. We aren't going to spend a lot of time catching you up to date on where they are with this villain. I looked into it, Andrew. Like, I know the story. It's nothing to like hang out on. It's fine. It's cool. Go read it. It's enjoyable. But the big takeaway from all of this is that Booster eventually, because they're in the present. They're
in the Booster and Martian Manhunter and Mary Marvel are in the past here, picking up young Clark.
That's right. Okay, because that's the whole plot. That's right. They need young Clark so that they can sort of zero in on his energy, like give a scent, if you will, to their energy tracking and find Superman. So that's why they've gone into the past. They activate their time bubble, and they're off. So while they go through, we get a nice little bit where Booster is sort of showing Superman things to come, while Martian Manhunter's like, hey, like, stop that. And I actually really liked it because...
like, Booster was actually being kind of retarded.
Booster's being kind of retarded, but then I also do like that this part right here, where he's like, you need to stop right now. Like, stop talking. Superboy, eyes on me right now. And John's like, you cannot look outside the bubble. You need to focus on me. And even Booster's like, oh shit, yeah, like, stop. Get him away. Death of Superman, birth of John, right? Which is like, seals too much. And would probably ruin like the Lois relationship, right? Like, if you knew, like if you lived assuming like it's a death, like, I get that no matter what, it's a destiny, it's gonna be bad, because then you're not gonna try, you're not gonna romance her, it'll fall apart. But as they're just flying through the time stream is what I'm looking for. They randomly encounter a massive time bubble disruption, and they have no idea what it is. A hand starts to reach out, and Superboy, being Superboy, kind of being stupid, honestly, and maybe that is more to the point that he is Superboy, he just jumps out and he goes, I'll save you. And so he jumps into the time stream, and he's fumbling, flying, and it turns out that the person on the other side is Clark, floating around post DCKO.
That's just our Clark.
He's just hanging out here. Gets him, and then we get this nice little moment where he got him, but then he goes, oh crap, like, I'm not strong enough for this, I don't know what's going on. And Clark is Clark, and he just goes, like, straight ahead, like, keep flying, like, I know you can, right? And it's just, damn, that's
a good shot right there.
I wanted to use that shot for our thumbnail, but the all white background makes it kind of boring for a thumbnail. But I'm like, man, that shot is so good. But with that, Supes is back, and our full-blown Superman is back.
First time he's had a beard since the kickoff of Rebirth.
Oof, yeah, that I was so I thought for a second I was really worried. I was like, oh no, are they like doing something with that Rebirth plot point of Superman? Like, are they not retconning, but like warping? I don't know. I was like, no. And then it was just our Clark, and I was like, oh, thank God, like, thank goodness. But yeah, with that, guys, we are back on track, I suppose, with the DC universe. That was only a couple months that he was gone. He was not gone.
Yeah, it was like 4 months.
4 or 5 months,
maybe?
I think. Yeah, like, not didn't really feel the impact of him being gone, aside from some people just saying, he's gone, we gotta find him. So,
and you said you have been keeping up with Action Comics, more or less?
Yes.
Okay, and he has not made an appearance in these last handful of months?
Nope.
Okay, so he's just here.
He's just here. Like, there's been no, like, you flip to the end of one issue and it's like, let me out of here, right? Like, it's none of that. We had no idea that they would actually... We knew that Booster and
So
Mary
I would have been
and
genuinely
John
pissed off if I didn't pick up and read this issue.
I would have too, because
even if it's like not that much of a to-do in terms of like...
It's kind of a big to-do.
And now he's there, and he's back, and there's not much fanfare about it. It should be a bigger deal. And on the one hand, it is a big deal, but it's not a big deal in the book.
And
it doesn't feel like a big deal in the book.
I'm torn.
It feels like a footnote.
I'm torn, because on one hand, I feel like they should be making a big deal out of it. But I also, like, where we are in a meta sense, in a story sense of the whole DCU, like, everybody already knows, like, nobody died. Like, even when he died or when he went away this time, right? Nobody was, they were just like, he'll be back. I don't know where he is, but he'll be back. So it's like, less we were worried about you, and more like, he'll come home eventually, right? Like the cat got out, he'll come home eventually.
Clark's like a cat.
A little bit, but yeah, so Clark is here. I guess now we got to start dealing with genuine DCKO fallout. I don't know how that's going to happen. They're still dealing with the Vision stuff over in Justice League Unlimited, but it's very, very boring and not worth really dealing with right now.
Yeah, I just don't care. Like, just get me to this Omega War or whatever the hell we're calling it.
The problem is, like,
let's be done with it.
They say Omega War, and instantly that splash of Dark Knight's death metal, where they're all like splayed out, ready to like where they're battling. That to me is like, that's Omega War. Literally by death, like everybody is evil and corrupted. Well, not evil, but like Superman's dying. Batman is a Black Lantern. Like,
yeah,
that's Omega War. And now we're gonna, I don't know. All I can say is buckle up for the insane amount of covers that come with #1, I guess. That's all I can say.
Oh, God. I don't want to think about that.
But so, from there, we jump over to Superboy Prime. As written, this is... Did you catch who wrote this?
This specific, like, mini-story in here?
This Superboy Prime Dan Mora part.
No.
Brother man, this was written by Sophie Campbell.
So Sophie Campbell was in on the joke on her own self? Because of where Superboy Prime says, hey, this is the Sophie Campbell, so we can sit down and talk about her feelings.
I think less that she's in on the own joke, and more that she's one of the few people who's actually able to be like, yeah, I kind of fucked up. Right? And so now you can laugh at yourself. Because for those who don't understand my surprise here, Sophie Campbell is the writer of the current Supergirl series that Andrew and I were reading, but not even recently, a long time ago at this point.
We dropped it with the first arc.
Yeah, like we dropped it.
I made it, what, 4 issues in is what I made it?
No, you went 6.
Maybe 5?
Well, you read 5,
Did I go 6?
Bought 6. You read 5, bought 6, because you had to get the...
That's right, because I had to get all the freaking art term.
Yeah.
He just, his character covers were too good.
Perfect. He draws her like a little cherub.
She's perfect.
But so, Sophie, that Supergirl run has not been a favorite of ours, and one of our big qualms has sort of been like, she's really good at knowing information, like trivia about Supergirl and deep lore, and like she's a DC fan. She can't really write it out. There's a lot of kind of what we were talking about earlier, a lot of just like talking teenage melodrama stuff that didn't really like. I don't want to necessarily say it's bad, just not a fit for a Supergirl comic. You know what I mean? Like if this was her own indie comic, I can see it doing pretty well, but it's just the wrong arena. That being said, she wrote this short, and it's really, really good. Like, it hits on lore.
Yeah, it didn't read like a Sophie Campbell thing.
I know.
Honestly, that's probably why I enjoyed it.
And that's why I go to 2 places. One, either Sophie, as we noted when Sophie got, like, when that series started, that's her first, like, big comic book, right? Like, doing art and writing it. I can understand, like, option one is that Sophie went through it and she's learning. And she's slowly going, okay, that wasn't right. That didn't work. Here's how I should have done this, right? Like, more growing pains than we would have liked, but at least growing to an extent. Or this is kind of what you and I were saying for these past months, where because this isn't her book, and this is, like, this character, like, it's in a book written by Mark Waid primarily, and then she's going into like, she's even getting the artist from Superman to go in on Williamson's stuff. So maybe her having Waid and Williams, maybe they went, no, don't do that, do it like this, right? And that is what we've been talking about. Like, get her an editor, or like, yeah. It just felt different. It felt right. It felt good. And that's why I was so surprised when I...
Get one of them that's like the story outliner, and then, you know, because
exactly.
like, well, isn't that what actually happened with the Absolute Catwoman? Wasn't Snyder the story outliner for that?
That and the upcoming Absolute Cassandra, right? The Cassandra Cain one. He did both the like story outline overview for that, and then he let the respective writers, I can't remember off the top of my head, have their fun and go with it.
So then, have somebody who is, and not meant to be necessarily a diss to Sophie Campbell, but a better writer, a more experienced writer.
We're speaking from a managerial standpoint, right? Like, we're trying to optimize our assets.
Get somebody who is the stronger writer, stronger editorially, to do the story outlining, and also kind of act as like bumpers in case, like, during the actual scripting process by Sophie, they're like, no, let's shift it back, like, a little bit into the this is your lane right here. This is where you get to operate with it, like, right?
I see what you were doing. Little too, you went over the line a little bit. I see it. It's good. Let's you know, instead of going
rein it in
and making, you know, Streaky the Super Cat an avatar of the red and green or whatever, we're just gonna say that Streaky can talk to the red or something, like, curve them in like that. It would work very well for Sophie. But as for what Sophie pulls off here, we essentially get a how do you want to put, like, a slight update on the wider super family. So your John Kent, your Connor Kent, your Kara, your Thunder Girl, who is from a recent Superboy arc that isn't really anything worth noting right now. But essentially Lois is trying to, you know, foster, like, a family unit between them, because they're not orphans or, like, alone per se, but they could lean, how do I put it? Like, Con-El is a clone. Kara is, like, a cousin who got here super late. John Kent is a time-displaced version of his younger self. Like, Thunder Girl is from Kandor. So, like, they're not alone. Like, they're in the family, but they could easily slide into, like, isolation, if you will. And Lois is just like, you know what? We're just trying to get everybody together.
Because before this, if Clark was around, he would have been the one to try and facilitate that. And so Lois is trying to be like, okay, what would Superman do? Right.
Which also, I'm both like, I love it, but I also hate it. So you see Lois up there, right? In that first panel going Superboy, got her hair down. Looks like Dan Mora Lois right now. For some reason in the rest of the panels, like, she very clearly buns up her hair, which I've never seen Lois do. So it just feels really weird.
It feels odd. And like, the explanation could be like, oh, she wanted her hair kind of out of her face while she was cleaning up or something, but whatever. But we don't really get shown that. That's just me making an inference.
But I think that's the right inference, right? But the problem is, if I think Lois putting her hair up, I think ponytail. I don't think, like, really tight bun. You know what that look gives me? This look gives me Chi-Chi. And we know Dan Mora is a big Dragon Ball fan. So that's where I'm like, I think he might have been trying, like, whether intentionally or not, like, he's referencing that, like, it leaked into his art.
Maybe,
like,
maybe.
Mother of, you know, strong mother of a bunch of, like, the world's strongest fighters, if you will, has to clean up after them.
Right, and this is the equivalent of having Gohan, Goten, young Trunks. Because future Trunks wouldn't have left a mess of the place. He would have actually cleaned up. He learned how to clean his room.
He would have been the first one to clean up.
And maybe like Pan or something, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's a really good way to put, like, Pan's like Thunder Girl. But yes, so it just felt weird to me. It's not bad. It just feels too old for Lois, I think might be the right way to put it. You know what I mean? But yeah.
It does change her entire shape.
Yeah, it feels odd. I don't know. But Lois, goes to Kara and says, hey, is you-know-who going to come by for this shindig? Superboy Prime, of course.
Yeah.
And by the way,
what's up, super fam?
First time that Connor and Prime have met since Prime
killed him in Infinite Crisis.
No. The last time, this is actually relevant to something we were just talking about. The last time Prime and Connor saw each other was when Prime was fucking Time Trapper, and the Legion brought back Connor and Bart to fight him.
Yeah.
That is the last time they saw each other. Where the only words that Connor exchanges is like ready for game 2, like a reference to that touchdown line he did way back in the day. And then they just like start going at it, and Prime starts freaking out. So like, put yourself in like Khan's shoes, right? Like that was the last time you saw him. He's not only back.
He hasn't had any good experiences with this guy.
He really hasn't, and now he's back, and he's Superman, right? Like
That's gonna make you feel some kind of way.
Khan's not necessarily vying for the title right now, but you're gonna feel weird. Either like that should be me, or he'd probably go either it's me or it's John, knowing Connor. Right. And so anybody that's not those two, he's gonna be mad about. You put the guy who killed him, he's gonna be pretty pissed off. And you know what? Shout out to Sophie and Dan and Mark. Like, I like that Connor kind of lashes out. It's very clear that like Connor's in the wrong here. He starts like yelling and being like, "No, I don't trust. I'm just gonna fight him."
He's in the wrong. No. He's in the wrong in the context of current Prime, right? He's operating on all of his past experiences with Prime. Right. So it makes me sound like such a freaking woman, but what he's feeling is not wrong.
Exactly.
However, him lashing out towards current Prime, who has not done anything wrong and who has actually been trying actively to turn over a new leaf. And that's not like this is news to Connor either, because Kara has told him this. Lois has told him this.
The Justice League told him because he's on the satellite. Like,
so it's
and
not
he's
like
gonna
it's
know.
news.
Like Connor's gonna catch the news and be like, "Oh, there's a Superman. Oh my God, it's Prime." Like, so like. How do I put it?
It's a nice bit of. It's good drama. It's good drama.
In character drama, which I love. This is what Andrew was referencing a little bit ago. Superboy Prime here straight up says like, hey, like at least you came back to life. Like, I wouldn't have killed you if I didn't think you'd come back to life. But he does say like, oh, and this is the Sophie Campbell era, which means we can sit down and talk about our feelings. Although I heard she is writing you out of character, right? Or no, she's writing you out of character, in my opinion. Which I'm like, see, that to me is like, it feels self-aware from Sophie.
It kind of does. It's not enough to make me go pick up the Supergirl book.
No.
I'll at least give her a clap there.
And now I'm more like less inclined to go like, Sophie, and more like Sophie, like eyebrow. It could go either way at this point,
Show me.
Right? Like, yeah, exactly. So, because like it just doesn't feel. Think of like either all the super crazy like neoliberal people we've seen throughout the years, or think about somebody like an Ethan Van Sciver, right? They can never admit that they did anything wrong, and they will shit their pants and they will stomp their feet and say, no, everything I did was valid. And they usually
it's hubris. It's hubris and pride.
Exactly. And so for Sophie here to take 2 swings at herself, right? Like, A, talks about how her book is very feelings heavy, and like we were talking about, and then also that Connor in particular, in his kind of handful of appearances in recent issues, was out of character. I think that's her going. I would be shocked if she turns around from this and just goes like, I hear it, like, haha, yeah, you guys hate that? This feels like, okay, haha, I hear you guys. I'm still me, but I can take your feedback into consideration, right? Like, they'll still talk about their feelings, but Connor will be in character. Or maybe they don't talk about their feelings as much. And then, to what you said with the drama of it all, Khan just goes out. Like, he just strikes out at him. He goes for him to the point where Kara has to call Crypto out.
I was so confused initially because you turn the page and all of a sudden you have Crypto, Streaky, and what's his face, Wolfman, which I kind of like that trio. I'm not gonna lie, that's fun.
You and I have said before
I'd take a one shot with them.
We like the Wolf guy, and he's also like, you and I always laugh because it's like Dan Mora loves that guy because he made him for Unlimited.
He does.
He's in like every shot. Dan loves drawing this dude. So when I flipped it and saw it was him, I was just like, of course Dan Moore is drawing this section. Yeah, it's gonna be Dog Guy. I forget his like name, but I like the duo. I also like how he's like, Crypto, you and I were just hanging out like dog bros, and then this happens, and I'm just like, you would hang out.
He's like, is that just how cats are, right? Like,
moody and unpredictable. And he's like, I don't get it. Like, they're all just kind of like,
is that just how cats are? And so I was so confused. I'm like, are we pivoting to a completely different story right now in the middle of what's happening over here? I'm interested in what's going on over here. And then you hear like Crypto hears his name being called, and then you turn the page and it's Kara calling Crypto. It's like, I think that's hilarious. Like have Crypto come to save the day.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And you know what, Andrew? I didn't have that reaction, or I did, but in the way of like, because this was already set up as an anthology, and that last shot right there of like, okay, that's it. You're like, that feels like scene on the Super family. Now let's go see what Crypto is up to, right? And so I was like, we're gonna see something Crypto related. And I had no idea. I genuinely was surprised when we learned that Kara's calling him in to stop the brawl. But that is where we end the brawl here. We will put a quick pin in it because we have to jump over to Superman 40. Before we do, I will just I need to note this because you and I have talked
We do
about
need to cover this because this is I totally forgot. There's another big deal that happens in here. Why are all the big deals?
Major fucking deal.
There's a lot of big deals happening in this book that I wasn't even reading.
Andrew, look at how they advertise this issue. Landmark 111, like barely, like that's not even copy. I don't know what the hell you guys did. That's not.
There was no like, hey, if you've been reading Superman but you haven't been keeping up with Action Comics, you should buy this issue. I just picked it up on a whim because I had seen somebody on Twitter post a screen grab of the digital version of one of the pages done by Mora in here with Supergirl and Con-El and all them on it. I was like, oh well, I want to see my boy Mora drawing all these characters.
You sent that to me, and and then like a little later, you were like, did you read Action Comics yet? And I was like, not yet. And then I was like, wait. Because you were like, oh, those pages are from, and I was like, wait, do you mean Superman? And he went, no, Action Comics. I was like, but we also got a Superman. Do you mean Super? I was like, what's happening here? And he's like, no, Action Comics. And we get we get the resolution to the entire Superboy plot. We get Superman coming back. We get Connor meeting Superboy Prime for the first time. Like, it's a
long time. And then the reveal at the end of this final story.
Which is, we learned that, this is also an insane twist to me too. All right, Andrew? So like you guys might not remember, but in the very first, one of the opening storylines of Superman Unlimited by Dan Slott was a kryptonite meteor was heading towards Earth. The Superman was able to break it up and blow it up, but
that's how he got his golden powers for a little bit.
Yeah, he activated it. It helped him like shield him. A big chunk of it lands on this country in Latin America called El Caldero. And they start, harvesting it. They start, using it, building weapons, building technology, and sending it out into the world, which is
building a city
of kryptonite. And so Superman, and his allies essentially go like, "Can you not?" And he goes, "No. Like my country needs to live. Like without this, we're dead, and we're all gonna like starve to death and get taken over by raiders. Like, no, I'm sorry." So you initially think he's like very, very much an enemy. Because like when it lands and he's gonna be a big time villain, right? Because like when he starts, like he invites Superman in and he's like, I love you, like you're Superman, and we're building this in tribute to you. We can only do this with the kryptonite because of you, right? Like it makes sense even if it's a little, you're leaving out a couple steps here and there.
Just a few.
And so like you said, it felt like he was going to turn out to be a major antagonist, but then. And this is like there are two twists here, and the first twist, like that I walked away with, has to deal with him, which is
he's actually an okay guy. He was immediately like,
yes.
we need to destroy all the kryptonite that is like actually poisoning people across the rest of the world. We need to alert the Justice League. And I'm like, huh?
Like, we'll make do. We'll sell Kryptonian technology. We'll find another way. They learned that all of this kryptonite is radioactive to human. Like, it will doesn't affect.
It's not just poison to,
to
Kryptonians.
It's also
poison to humans. Yeah.
And so as soon as he learns that, he goes, nope, shut it all the fuck down. Like, we're done here.
Yeah.
We're not doing this. And you know what he says? Ask yourself, my friend, like my guard, what would Superman do? And like, genuinely, Andrew, I got that turn and I was like, whoa.
I was shocked.
He's actually a good guy.
Yeah,
Which
I was
of course
shocked.
leads to him getting his ass kicked by his #1 lieutenant, who basically says, you know what? I'm standing up for this kingdom. I'm standing up for what we need to do. And what he needs to do is find fucking Superman, because it is Zod. Zod is
Kneel
back,
before Zod.
which I had a moment.
And he's just standing there chilling in all that kryptonite because he still doesn't have his powers.
He doesn't have his powers. Exactly. I stood there for a moment and I was like, oh, Zod? Like, why would Zod do, like, subterfuge? Why would he disguise himself and, like, work his... And then I was like...
Because he doesn't have his powers.
His powers still. And now he gets to go fight Lois! Like, or at least go after her, like, or something. Like,
how's that going to work? Because Lois doesn't have his powers anymore either.
But you know who she has? A whole family of super people surrounding her. And who just came back?
Oh, man. So,
dude,
is Williamson's next arc going to deal with Zod? And, oh my, is it going to be the whole super fam against Zod? Is Williamson going
to give us, like,
Are we about to have generational peak?
We already do. And I'm just, like,
I
didn't put all of that together until right now, where I was like looking at this.
We're going to have the whole bitch versus Zod.
That's crazy. And, like, I don't know, man. I'm excited now. I'm excited for Williamson stuff because he's been doing good damn work. Like,
he has.
Which is where we're gonna go next. Because guys, if you thought Action Comics was good, Superman 40,
this is a comic book fan's comic book.
And like we've been saying for a while now that this is so far Williamson's been on a generational Superman run, and if he can land it, it will solidify as that. Obviously,
I need the omnibus now.
And that's kind of where I get here. Right here in Superman 40, guys, we get the end of Prime's main arc. It looks like. We'll get into it.
Yeah.
But if this was the end right now, if they said all Superman books are over and we're going into a big event, right? Like they kind of do sometimes. I'm putting Williamson up there with like Byrne, with Schuster and Siegel. Like, he understands Superman. He understands, like, both as a character, as the person, if they were standing in front of you, and as like the meta representation.
I was about to say he understands the idea.
That's what it
Superman.
is. The idea of Superman.
Because he's showcasing, albeit because he's using an imperfect person, he's showcasing the idea of Superman in Superboy Prime.
And sort of not in an overbearing, like, I need to teach you guys a lesson way, but also speaking to the readers and being like, you might have forgotten, but this is what Superman's supposed to be. Besides all this power scaling, besides all of the movies, besides the culture wars, like, Superman means something. And my God, guys, I almost like couldn't finish this issue. It was so good, and I was like, I gotta go to Andrew. I gotta get on foil here. Like, this book, this issue. So, if you guys remember, right now, Superboy Prime is trying to fill in for Clark as Metropolis's main Superman while he was away post-DCKO. Manchester Black has been manipulating him, thinking that he is, sort of having a mental break, slowly falling back into his past violent self. And we learn that he was manipulating Superboy so that Superboy would do another reality punch. And we got that in the last issue, and as a result, Manchester Black is now back, alive, and mortal, and more strong than he's ever been. Plus, now that he because he's a psychic, he's tapped into Prime's mind, and he now kind of gets what Prime sees, right? Like, I wouldn't say that he's exactly one-to-one with Prime, but like, he knows he's in a comic, I guess, but he doesn't act like he's in a comic. It's almost like it's just another plot device to him, which works, but it's interesting. But with that, you know, Manchester Black is basically, you know, let's just go retcon everything. Like that's what we're gonna do now. And he tells Prime, like, you want everything to be back to, you know, happy and hope. I want real back, right? Like, I want gritty back. And that's even what Prime says. He's like, you just want grimdark for grimdark. And he says, no. I just want reality, which is, you know, the era that Black and the Authority and all those characters, like, that's when they that's what they came out of. So
yeah, they hail from that era. It's
a really good dynamic that they've got going. And to do so, his main weapon against Superboy is basically just like, he's retconning reality as well. Like, how do I put, like, he's mentally manipulating Superboy into seeing retconned reality, even though reality is still the same. But Superboy, for example, he shows Superboy a scene of Damian telling Batman, like, he was never my friend. Like, he's a joke. He'll never be Superman. He sees a shot of Witchfire going like, Clark is such a loser. Like, he's such a fraud. He only reads the wiki entries. He doesn't actually read the comics, which I was like, that's a little bit good.
That's a nice
good little swing there. And
nice shot to comics
we actually
Twitter.
Get a direct rewrite of the scene with Lois and Kara, where instead of Kara going like, okay, we gotta give him a chance, they both decide like, we gotta take him out. And Prime, luckily, he goes, no, like, that's not me, and I know that. And, you know, so if we're gonna have this fight, we're gonna do it on like my turf. We're gonna do it. And they emerge out of a comic book, out of Superman 40, into the very comic book store that Clark, or that Prime works in. Which, by the way, I wanted to point out this one panel because obviously you're gonna have your comic shop workers here. Whoops, is this the right? Yeah, Zoom page is the right one. So we have this one little inset panel of his boss and his coworker. His boss asks his coworker, "Oh, really? I thought you liked the character arc they were on." Clearly in the middle of a conversation about a recent story. And the guy says, "I do. I like growth and arcs and all that stuff, but only if it means nothing has changed from 40 years ago." And brother,
man,
when
I'm holding back the names.
When I let out a very audible laugh at this.
Yeah, same.
If this is not like, you're basically going to see like the Bill of Rights, the foil variant Bill of Rights written out in this comic right here, and this is one of the amendments, right? So from there, we go back to the right size. Whoa. And yeah, so Superboy Prime emerges back into his comic book shop, where one, he unfortunately has to blow his secret identity, but two, we still like, I love this. Like, Manchester Black is like he's literally fighting with his words. He makes like, using the power of comics, right? His word bubble gets bigger as he just keeps talking shit on Prime until it overwhelms him. And at that point, Manchester Black picks up Prime, starts slapping him around, and even says, like, you know what? I know this is what readers want. They don't want you to have a redemption arc. They want you to get the shit beat out of you for what you did. And honestly, guys, if you've stepped into League of Comic Geeks, Twitter, anywhere, it's a really common conversation of people divided between, like, I'm in for this run, it's fun, and, you know, or it's not even that. It's more like newer fans, and yes, this includes all the annoying ones we always talk about, but hey, y'all got to start somewhere. Newer fans who might not know history are getting in with Prime now, and they're like, oh, he's fun, he's interesting. But then old heads are like, I remember when he ripped off, damage his arm, we probably shouldn't let him do anything. And so, again, Williamson's so good that he made the, like, real life, or like the comic theme, a real life theme. It's insane. But with that, what does he say here? Oh yeah, he's like, so he's beating on Prime, and he says, all right, Prime, what's your next move, you loser? What would Superman do? And Prime goes, no. what would I do? And he hurls a giant box, an entire long box of comics at Manchester Black. And, Black starts going like, I hate comic books. They're a product of a bygone era, just as outdated and stupid as Superman. This is what you idolize? You based your life on this? Comics are dying, just as dead as you're going to be. And what does Prime hit back? I prefer to think of them as surviving, which is like, it's not a great situation, but that's that half. Do you see the glass half empty or half full? And Prime is seeing it as half full, right? And remember, even aside from villain, like comic book villain Prime, we know Prime is like the, I'm going to go home on the forums. Like, you're all gay. Like, I hate you. Like, so for him to be like, no, they're not that. Like, they're alive. They're surviving is a massive change, right? And this is where we get, like, I want this postered right on, like, everything.
Yeah.
I'm just going to read it out loud because there's no way I can summarize this and do it justice. And I quote Superboy Prime. Where I come from, there is no real Superman. You got to live in a world with Superman, and you complain about it. Do you have any idea how lucky you are? If you fall, Superman or one of the other heroes will catch you. Sometimes they fail or they make mistakes, but there's always hope. You love to say hope sucks because you have no hope in yourself. When I was a kid, I was bullied by people just like you, and Superman never came to save me. And the day he finally did, I lost everything, and it broke me, maybe forever. You're right. I'll never be as good as Superman, or I'll never be as good as him. It hurts to say that, but I know it's the truth. So I make jokes to hide how scared I really am. But even when I'm lost or afraid, I still know the people on my world love Superman as much as I do. He's real in their hearts. He moves them to be better people. So shame on you. Shame on you for not appreciating you had a real Superman here, Manchester Black, because where I'm from, no one is coming to save us. I don't know. Like, I just got goosebumps hearing that in my voice, right? Like, this is like all the like anger points you and I have had, and I'm just talking for me and Andrew specifically here, but like all the points that you and I get angry about, that when we go like, you need to shut the hell up, when we go, we're tired of this, like right here, Williamson basically gave you your thesis. Like, this is everything you've been saying and why Superman matters and why, like, had this issue come out either right before or right during Gunn's Superman, I think more people would understand what the point of that movie was, right? Yeah. Like, because, and really, I'm going to get a little direct here. Not direct, that's the wrong word. But, like, let's be real, guys. Prime's bit about, like, you hate hope because you have no hope in yourself. I'm sorry, that is very clearly what motivates about 98% of the culture warriors. They don't like themselves. They don't think they have a chance to make things better. And so let's tear down everything. Why should I let that be better if it won't be better for me? When in reality, I'm going to point to you, Andrew, as an example here of like what Prime is saying. Andrew, like, those people expect a Superman to come save them. And that's why when they go, oh, it didn't do what I wanted, it didn't make my situation better, it sucks. Andrew is kind of like what Prime's saying, where he knows Superman's not coming to save him, but he can still put Superman as an ideal. And you know what Andrew did when he saw comics getting bad and going downhill? He went and he said, I'm going to go make one. I'm going to be that change. I'm going to do something positive. And just Prime gets it. But then I will also give Williamson the fact that there is a very good straight direct torpedo to that, and Manchester hits him with it, which is if no one's coming to save your world, why are you here and not there? Yeah. And even Prime's like, oh, you're right. Like, shit, right? And then Manchester starts kicking his ass and goes like, all that comic knowledge, it's for nothing. You are nothing. You're worthless. And then, come on, guys, this could be any one of us. Prime goes, fine. You want to use my brain to manipulate everything?
Oh boy, here we go. He wanted the smoke. He wanted the smoke.
It's Prime time! And Superboy Prime unloads. Now follow me here with the statement. Maybe, like, I know Andrew's going to grasp it, but God, the entirety of DC publishing history.
Mm-hmm.
From Action Comics #1 to Superman #40 into Manchester Black's brain at once. And, like, I do love... I don't know. I'm going to be honest here. I don't know what the takeaway is supposed to be for, like, fans like us. I think a positive thing, obviously, it's Williamson. I don't think he's mocking anybody. But, like, Manchester Black gets hit with that, and he just goes, like, so many reboots and retcons and reimaginings. It's too much continuity is literally what he says.
Yeah.
And you know what? Now that I say that out loud, I think this might go to what you and I always talk about earnest engagement, right? Like, Superboy Prime earnestly engaged. Like, yes, he was a jackass, but he wanted to read all those stories. Yes, he wanted to read them because he wanted to get info on how to beat Clark, but still, he read them earnestly and genuinely because he knew I need to take them seriously.
Yeah.
Black just sees them as nonsense. So when Prime has all this info, it makes sense, and he can, sort it out. When Black gets it, because he doesn't care to actually go like, okay, what does this all mean? What is it? Kind of what we were saying about how he's kind of like Superboy Prime, breaking the fourth wall, but not all the way there. With that, like, you get all that overload, and he goes, I don't know what to do with any of it. And this just happens to be like, say that to... You and I say this all the time, where we go, shut up, you do not read comic books. Where we see somebody take...
The number of times that we, like, shoot tweets that we see to each other where it's like, shut up, tourist.
You don't even know! Like...
You do not read these books. Stop talking about them. Right?
And then, we can always... Anytime for those types of fans, or, like, people, not even fans, if you push against them, it will immediately... Like, whatever they are complaining about will immediately collapse. Because 9 times out of 10...
Because they don't have the knowledge structure to support it.
You and I... There was one that inspired me to anger... And posting earlier this week, you know which one I'm going to talk about. There was some guy who reposted pages from Ultimate Spider-Man, from the dinner.
I think that was issue 4, maybe.
Yeah, or I think it's a little later than that. It's the issue where, like, MJ goes to dinner with Peter and Harry and Gwen, and it's a lot of talk. It's all talking. It's all sitting, but it's sharp writing, and it's like, we reviewed
it's
it.
edge of your seat tension without any action, which is hard to do.
And so this guy on Twitter, he just retweets it, or he posts a bunch of pages, and he goes, "What is this? This is a modern Spider-Man comic book. No matter, people are leaving it in droves." And I went back. I opened up Amazing Spider-Man 4, and I posted 3 full pages where it is a dialogue on dialogue on dialogue. And the most exciting thing is Peter doing the half spider thing, where Ditko did that to indicate he's thinking about being Spider-Man or whatever. There are genuine criticisms to be had about this medium we love. If you're not genuinely making them, you're going to be called out, because it's going to be very obvious you have no idea what you're doing with all this.
You don't know what you're talking about.
And man, if you just look... I'm not going to zoom in and get into it, but there are really good just spots from across the DC history, right? There is there's actually Deceased John Kent. There is Batman and Superman holding each other by the arm from when they first started fighting together. There's original Black Shield Superman. There's 90s Aquaman, right? There's Batman Beyond up there. There's fucking Impulse, dead straight center at I don't know. I love it. But that is how Prime defeats Manchester Black. They throw him into the Phantom Zone, and unfortunately, it's more of a Pyrrhic victory, because yes, he won, but now everybody is even more pissed at him because he didn't just overload him with stories, guys. For us, that is
all of their info.
That's their history.
And all their
that's
secrets
their
are there.
Yeah. So they know their secrets, their origins, their secrets and origins, if you will, right? So everybody is just oh man, especially Mr. Terrific.
Mr. Terrific is not thrilled about it. Yeah.
Manchester's kind of comatose and in the Phantom Zone, but come on, it's comic books. Somebody will find a way to get him out of there.
They'll be back, and this will be a problem down the line.
Right? And from this is where we talk about with like character growth, right? Like, you would think if this was like a Marvel book, oh, he did it, he saved the day, now we're gonna all wrap up like that was great, knuckle bump, da 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 da. Instead, Prime goes like, I fucked up, and everybody's telling him he fucked up, and Lois is trying to be like, you want to talk? And he's like, no, like he's matured enough now to realize that like he can't just like, yeah, he saved the day, but he also I don't know, he's growing up in front of our eyes, which is, as Zero points out, kind of cool how Superboy Prime became actually cool in the story. It's kind of great to just see like not just a character, but like a young man character grow so respectfully and healthily.
We don't see that anymore.
We really don't. But from there, we do have to wrap up, the rest of Superboy Prime's life. He goes back to the comic book store and says, hey guys, I'm sorry about that. Can I help out? And they say, just show up on time. And I love it, Andrew. He goes, well, I still have a job? And they're like, dude, we read comic books. We get it. Like, we get secret identities. And I was like,
we got your secret identity. He's like, do I have my own supporting cast?
Like, wow, does this mean I have my own supporting cast? And then we get Witchfire coming in and kind of...
Man, damn moral women.
It's... Dude, like the casual look, too. Like, he's just... Him and Jimenez, it's illegal for them to draw women almost.
It is criminal.
Like, we might have to just put censor bars on them. I'm sorry. Inshallah. But here, I'll admit, I am a little bummed that... So essentially, Witchfire comes to Prime and says, hey, I'm sorry about kissing you earlier, during our team up. I was wrapped up in, everything that was going on. And Prime goes, yeah, me too, I get it. But hey, it's cool to have a friend. And they agree to keep chilling or whatever. But like, I'll admit, it's kind of a bummer. I kind of felt like maybe there could have been something. I kind of
dug it.
And I would have liked to see what Williamson could have done with a like Peter Parker MJ parallel over here, right? Because that's also what Prime reminded me a lot of in this issue is Peter Parker.
Yeah.
Like the angry Peter Parker, the one that we love. And I was like, I get it. He lashes out and he might win, but he also recognizes like that wasn't the right way to do it. I meant to drop this earlier to help you not feel so feminine with your statement, but the other sort of statement in regards to, feelings and stuff that I always go back to is it more relates to like mental health. So like if you have autism or ADHD or anything, so like mental health is not your fault, but it is your responsibility. So the feelings you feel, guys, like if something comes up and it makes you angry, there's probably a very valid reason for it making you angry. Like we saw, somebody in the past did something to you, or this person has continually let you down on this thing. That's a very valid emotion. That doesn't give you carte blanche to now go, I'm angry, I'm going to be an asshole. You have to be an adult about it. And it sucks. That's a part of, like, it's one of those things that sucks about growing up is a lot of times you're going to be left unsatisfied. You're not going to get the apology. You're not going to get karma coming back your way. It just is.
Yeah.
And that is, I recognize that for a lot of people, that's hard to accept and really fuels a lot of our problems. But the sooner you accept no one's coming to save us, the sooner you can you can get your life back on track.
You can recognize your own agency to do something about it yourself.
And then like, I love this too because I just realized we're just paraphrasing what he says, because he even says like, I expected this to be easy. I would just show up and I'd get my own new #1, like he said at the beginning. And I love this because he goes, I wanted to just pretend everything was okay, but I did the one thing I hate. I ignored continuity, which like, hey, yes, that's good for like, that's a perfect like comic book angle, but my God, guys, apply this to your personal lives. And like you, yes, there are like, you still have to, you can feel sorry and you can feel bad and want to make up, but you still have to atone, whether that's going to jail and serving your time or, offering to pay for something you broke. You can't just move past it. And if you do, it's just going to be detrimental to whatever that relationship is, your boss, your girlfriend, your husband, whatever, because they're just going to go, oh, you're ignoring that. Just like we do when comic book writers just jump over something. It's very, we should maybe even do like a full variant proper video diving into like how this is paralleling real life and how, yeah, guys, like this is so hopeful and so inspirational to me, especially like me, who, if you guys have followed me on social media or any of my streams, you know that right now I'm at a very low opinion of like our society. And I read this and I go, maybe it doesn't have to be that low. Maybe people are still out there giving the right lessons, right? And yeah, if I want to show I can grow and be better, I need to make amends on the terms of people I hurt, not mine.
Damn.
So good. And then he hits it. He goes, I miss my parents, I miss my dog, I miss my and I'm like, God damn it, Prime, then go then. Like stop making me sad. But then Witchfire here, dude, with the like, I didn't even see this coming. Witchfire basically tells, he's like, I got to pick up my life. I don't know I miss everybody. And Witchfire goes, well, you know what? Here's what I love about comic books. Every Wednesday is a new opportunity. Every week there's an opportunity to do something good or do something great. This week might be hard, but next week might be awesome. Every Wednesday is a chance in there and here, right? Like, and I don't know why I've never thought about it like that, Andrew. Like, every Wednesday really is a new opportunity. There are new books on the shelf. There are new things that you and I will talk about. There are,
and our own show here is an example, because we've had weeks where it's like, man, everything that came out this week was aggressively mid or bad, and then the next week, sometimes we'll just have, it's like, man, everything was like just really great.
We go,
right?
you thought last week was slow. Well, we're making up for it now, right? So
yeah.
This very much feels like the end of a movie where they're all giving their like goodbyes, and it works. I don't know, like it's all the right Williamson is giving the right lessons in the right language. Like, I will admit, guys, if you tried to get me, like, task me with giving a message of hope like this, right now where I'm at, I'd probably take a way more aggressive bent with it, right? I'd be way more short with the people who are like, ew, that's dumb. I'd be like, well, then fuck you. Then shut up. Get out of here. Whatever chi, like Tai Chi, whatever Williamson's doing, he's able to keep himself zen, and it doesn't feel like he's, I didn't get a culture war read out of this, period. I got immaturity reads. And unfortunately, yes, immature people do, unfortunately, run the culture war, so it's going to brush up. But Williamson's more just speaking to the fact that, like, we do have to grow up at some point. But that doesn't mean it has to be over. Like, life doesn't have to be over when you grow up. You grow as a person. You become stronger. A new adventure awaits every Wednesday. It's awe-inspiring. And it's a Superman comic, and it's not coming from Superman, which is like Williamson knew the assignment. He knew exactly what
where I go back to what I said earlier, where this book is embodying the idea of Superman, even though Superman isn't in it.
Which is crazy. And then I smiled like a giant child.
Right, because this mirrored that first page. Oh.
That you and I, like, I love that first page where he pops in and goes, hi. Like, I know, KO, big crossover, but what do you say we have some adventures, beat some bad guys, and learn some lessons? Come on. Fly with me. And then we got a reverse of it, where he comes in, he's like, hey, that was fun, right? We had some laughs, we had some ups and downs. Change isn't easy, but it's good to believe you can change. Believing you can be better is a start. Before I go, I just wanted to tell you I'll miss you and to say thank you. I don't know, that hit me for some weird reason. Like, I don't want him to go. I
was like, don't go, Prime.
I like Prime. But
stick around longer, please.
And to that point, in this last panel here, he does say, we might be at an end here, but we're not totally done yet, because next year, and then Kara cuts him off. Because Kara shows up, and she's like, who are you talking to? And Prime got caught with his pants down. I don't know if you caught this, but he went to he's doing this, and he chose the most cinematic spot in Metropolis, on top of the globe, where I'm just like, you stinker. Always the presentation with you.
And Dan Mora's Kara.
Very rare to see it, but amazing. Especially this expression. The I'm not on the Zoom one. the like eyebrow up, like what are you doing type thing. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It's fantastic. And you know what? I think the new suit looks pretty good on like the appropriately aged Kara. You and I talked about it before with Sophie because Sophie's art makes her look a little young. I still think it works for the like mid-20s Kara as we see here.
No, absolutely. And you know me, and Mary's in the chat now, and she knows me. I love the thigh high boots on characters.
It's pretty good. It's good to see them back, and you know her midriff one too. I'm glad that it's all sticking around.
Yes,
but
that is proper Kara for me.
Right, and with that, you know, Superboy goes, "Oh, what's up? Are we finally having a crossover?" And she goes, "Hey, we need your help with something in El Caldero where Zod is. There's a meeting happening at Lois's apartment. All hands on deck. Let's get there." And he goes, "Cool, sounds like an event." And she says, "Just be nice. Don't pick a fight." And he goes, "What? Who could I possibly pick a fight with?"
Show the page.
Superboy Prime! And we can we at least talk about this? So, yeah, that is. I'm not entirely sure what is in store for Prime. It looks like it is gonna be this Kingdom of Zod thing that takes over from here because.
I'm game for this event. I've got to believe that this is the event that comes before the next big Darkseid event, right?
To me, this feels like almost like what KO should have been building up to, right? Because remember, Snyder was saying the entire time, like, this is a Superman story.
Yeah.
If Dark Knights was a Wonder Woman story, and then... Or no, Dark Knights was a Batman story, Death Metal was a Wonder Woman story, and then... KO was going to be the Superman story. And
which, like, man, of all the stories that you decided, oh, this is the Superman story, KO?
And you really only got it at the end when he got like Kirby powers, right? Which is like, that was cool. I don't know if I needed an entire event for it. But it opened up this opportunity, right?
It did facilitate, so in hindsight being what it is, it did facilitate us having this run with Prime.
Worth it. Just completely worth it for that alone. And yeah, so Prime's solo trip is at an end. He'll probably keep popping up for the rest of this storyline. But guys, like Andrew and I said, it's just a generational run. I want the omnibus. I want the absolute edition. I want the compact. I want to like staple gun.
I want this omnibus so bad.
I want a staple gun like Superboy Prime and Witchfire's speeches to like people's heads. Like it's so good. Ugh.
Every Wednesday is a new opportunity.
You need to meet people or make up with people on their terms, not yours. I mean, we could just use all of them as a sign-off too. Like every Wednesday is a new opportunity. Jesus, like that one right there is like hitting perfectly. Oh, but also in this page, Andrew, Lois looks the most Chi-Chi. And I was like...
now she absolutely looks...
This is where
that's where it's
like,
okay, now it's not an accident.
I was like, oh, wait a minute, who the hell is that? Oh, it's Lois. Weird. Okay.
Yeah.
But, Andrew, any last words to say about Superman 40 aside from, guys, go buy it, go read it, go do it now?
Yeah, this book is incredible. I cannot wait to grab I actually need to get caught up on Williamson's run in terms of the trades, because I don't have any of them yet.
Really?
Yeah, so I need to grab all of those now. Hopefully this one comes... DC's been pretty good about releasing their trades more quickly than in the past.
Yeah, DC's pretty good about it.
Hopefully this arc with Superboy comes out soon-ish.
I made a joke, but like it'll probably get a compact really soon, right? Like the way they're like throwing those things out.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, just, guys, book of the week, series of the year. When we do our, like, 2026 recap, I don't know if we're going to talk about anything else aside from Superman and Superboy. Or Superboy Prime, rather.
Yeah.
But, all right, we went a little over our main time. Andrew, I guess the big spoiler here, guys, is that there is literally nothing to say about Spider-Man. It is fucking boring beyond definite. Like, nothing...
It doesn't even really, outside of like maybe 2 pages, it doesn't even utilize Ed McGuinness well.
I literally wrote to Andrew, I said the most exciting thing that happened in this book is that Jack-O-Lantern showed up.
Yeah, and I was like, wow, you actually took the time to type that up.
And I was like, It's all I could get. It's literally all I could get to say positive about that issue. And most of the positive part about Jack-O-Lantern showing up is that it wouldn't have hit the same if Jack-O-Lantern from DC didn't also show up this week in Justice League.
Right. Yeah, it was kind of funny.
I would have just been like, oh, it's Jack. Crazy.
Yeah.
But then I was like, oh, look, Jack and Jacko. So that's why we skipped it, Zero, is that this plot with Peter's, like, cousin...
Yeah, we'd been here. We'd been here, and we care equally as little here.
Check this out. It opens with a page of the super rich cousin coming to pick up Aunt May and her boyfriend and Peter for like a night or like a day lunch on the town, and the opening dialogue is Peter talking about him being a teenager and like not going to a dance because he felt weird, and I'm like, move on.
Yeah.
You had a daughter like that was in utero. You should probably think about her a little more and like what happened to her. Technically, she's still alive in Europe with that like weird old nurse, but now I'm just going back into 90s.
I was going to say that there's a lot to unpack there.
There is a lot to unpack.
That is a tangled web they have woven.
But rather than try to unpack any of that, I think it's probably better for us and our audiences to sign off. Unless you have anything else you wanted to hit, Andrew. Anything in particular?
I think we're honestly pretty good. Next.
Oh, wait. There is maybe we didn't get to talk about it in full, but I do think that this is worth just at least like us laughing at. Oh, wrong book. Guys, Absolute Superman came out this week. We are at the end of the Black Adam arc.
It was basically just a non-stop fight that ends with Clark bringing him to the moon. And then he ends up like turning off his own powers when he screams Shazam. And he starts like choking and suffocating, which I kind of chuckled at because I was like, that's kind of a contrived way to win that fight.
It's contrived, but like at least they made it like he's emotional. He's screaming like he's losing his mind, so he would say it instead of like without thinking.
Yeah,
right?
he's
so
like, I am
works.
Shazam, right? And then
yeah, boom. But then, guys, as the fight comes to an end, which Snyderverse guys, this is better than anything you would have gotten. I promise you, right?
Oh
like,
yeah.
This is what you wanted, right?
Yeah.
At the end, Carter shows back up with the Father Box, the device. As we remember, the Father Box and the Brainiacs gave Black Adam his powers way back in the ancient times. Father Box comes into contact with Adam. They blip. They just like peace out, and they go, I don't know where they went. And Adam rematerializes on a planet. He realizes he's still alive, says, I'm going to come find you, Superman, no matter what. But first, he's got to get off an entire planet of Doomsdays, which is like just stupid enough. Where I
was going to say, like, and he's even say, I'm going to, like, be your Doom
I
or
will be
something
Superman
like that,
to
right?
Doom.
And I was like, all right, Jason Aaron.
Yep.
All right, like, that's just stupid enough for me to, like, love it.
Right.
Because that's my kind of comic book camp, like, on the nose stuff.
It's like you have a planet full of Doomsdays, or you do, like, She-Hulk has lost control of her transformation.
Yeah.
Right? They're both very comic booky. One works, or they're both stupid. One works as stupid. The other genuinely doesn't. But yeah, planet full of Doomsdays. I don't know what more you say to that.
Otherwise, literally an entire issue of just basically the fight, with the exception of like 2 pages.
And then also, I'm starting to think somebody out there at DC has a thing for Doomsday. Because if you remember, back in the Time Trapper fight, we saw that Doomsday had nipples, which was really weird. And then here, we just get full-on Doomsday booty.
I didn't notice that. Just full-on Doomsday booty.
I didn't even have to move this, like zoom in and adjust it like I do. I just went zoom and
it was
zeroed
dead
in.
Center of the page.
Boom!
My God in heaven. That is
Booty's
remarkable.
Day. Beautiful.
Booty's
Day. Oh, look at that. We came full circle. We started with Doomsday, and we end with Booty's Day. But with that,
that's
Andrew,
hilarious.
Look, what an amazing last chat to highlight. Mary is already taking something seriously, her collection of thigh-high boots. So you're a lucky man to get your homegrown... No, never mind. We're not doing that. He's just dabbed. I don't... How do I get him off my screen? Just him. But... All right, guys. I think with that...
Hey, she also complimented you.
I know she complimented me, but I A, I didn't dab, and B, that's all that matters.
I can't help but dab if Mary compliments me.
That's fair.
It's an involuntary response.
And see,
she also
has
peak taste because she said Smallville Lois is her Lois. She gets it. We finished season 6 last night.
Oh shit! You're coming on.
We're about to be.
Did you get the JSA, or you're about to?
That was some of the characters have been introduced. So Cyborg was introduced. Bart was.
Oh no, you're doing
Ollie has been.
I said JSA.
But in terms of like, yeah, you're right.
That's way later. Yeah.
Actually, that's either late season 7 or sometime in season 8.
I think so. So that's what I was like.
Because I think
it's right around you.
I think at that point Clark is wearing like the leather
the
jacket, right? Yeah. So
that's a bad
I think
outfit.
that's right.
That's a very bad outfit.
There was choices were made.
If you guys want a good look at a bad Smallville outfit that is also campy and funny to me, go look up what Blue Beetle looked like when he showed up. Because they didn't do Ted, they did Jamie, which is insane how long that show went on. They were able to get Jaime Reyes as their Blue Beetle. Like, that's fucking crazy.
That is
right?
I mean, it went 10 seasons.
I know, but you kind of forget like when it was. But it was during that like Infinite Crisis era. But yeah, they have him suit up with the Scarab and everything, and it kind of just looks like somebody made like a cardboard. It's very bulky. It's not great, but
it's rough. Yeah.
But it's got a charm. But Andrew, you not only have charm, you have things that you want to highlight, I presume. So why don't you start taking us out of here?
All right, so guys, as of 11 p.m. Central Standard Time tonight, you will have 24 hours remaining to get covers A, B, and C of Arcstream False Start #1 available on Rippaverse.com. After that, cover D will be the only cover available aside from like if you manage to catch us at conventions, and if we have a small amount of stock left over, we'll bring them to that. But otherwise, you're not going to see them available online. You can get cover Ds, whether it's through Rippaverse.com, whether it's through Walmart.com, whether it's through BarnesandNoble.com or Amazon.com. You can still get those there, which is still pretty wild to say. I don't think I'll ever get used to it, and I actually hope I don't get used to it. I hope I don't get used to it. I feel like that would like kind of maintain some level of humility. I don't need to get a big head over it, right? I always want to be thankful and surprised when cool things like that happen. But make sure you check that out. Obviously, if you are not subscribed here at Foil Variant, what are you doing? Like
you've been here for a while.
Where else are you going to get intellectually honest comic book talk? That is what we are here for.
Or Doomsday Butt. We are the only one bringing you that. All right.
All right. Never mind. You can unsubscribe. I would understand.
In the span of the ending of the show, we've kicked you off of the panel, and we have told everybody to unsubscribe.
Next week, instead of me being here in this box, it's just gonna be a crop of Doomsday booty.
Aren't you gone next week anyway? Like, don't I have to do that anyway?
No, I'll be here Thursday.
Okay.
I leave Friday morning for Bell County Comic-Con.
Awesome.
So, which I'm super looking forward to. So, anybody that's going to be in the Texas area, in the Belton area, make sure to check out Bell County Comic-Con. It's a super fun con. Honestly, it's our favorite con that we've done because just everybody was so nice.
That's what I heard.
Everybody was like really considerate, from the staff to the guests to the hosts, everyone. Like, it was just a genuinely positive experience.
Aren't the hosts the Iconic guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, our brothers and sisters over at Iconic Comics are fantastic. I'm super excited to see them again. I'm a big Common America fan. You guys should check that out too. That's just kind of a dumb, fun, like good kind of Americana wrapped in toku. It's a wonderful
I like
hybrid.
America a lot. Yeah.
It's a wonderful hybrid, and it's got a lot of like good heart and values to it. So check that out. Free plug for those guys, because they're fantastic people and talented creators. And make sure you are subscribed to the Room of Requirement, where you can find the best Harry Potter deep dive lore videos, written and performed by Mary and myself, and edited by Mary and our friend Dylan. They do great work there. I have a ton of fun doing it. I like just being able to talk about the things that I love in a kind of intellectual capacity. It's something that, you know, I'm very blessed to be able to do. And Harry Potter is one of my favorite franchises in the world. And I'm really glad to be able to be a part of this, and that Mary and I have this this channel together. So make sure you guys are subscribed and check out all our latest videos there.
You just uploaded one, right? Like yesterday, the day before?
Yeah, there was a new one that came out just in the last couple of days. Yeah.
So
make sure you guys check that out.
Some over there, go check it out. And of course, go sub to Andrew, Caffeinated Wolf, on YouTube, on Twitch, on.
Oh yeah, I've been streaming more.
Yeah, he's back to the streaming game. He's making his way through Ocarina of Time. I think it's still where we left off last, right? Where you just beat the Water Temple.
I just beat the Water Temple, yeah. So I'm gonna. My goal, like I've been saying, is to stream like at least twice a week, and so I'm going to either keep having it be Ocarina of Time for both of those, or swap out one of those for something else. I'm considering adding the new Halo Campaign Evolved to that, because that would honestly be a pretty short one. Like I could beat that game in just a few streams, honestly, probably also, even on Legendary Ant-Man? These days.
You guys like Ant-Man?
Yeah.
Back here? With the
nice.
like goatee. Oh man, he'll show up in a second. It's really bad. That's Reed. Go back. There he is.
Oh wow! Yeah. Look at that design.
Yeah. Woo,
that's wild, man. Choices were made, not good ones.
But all right, yeah. So follow his gaming streams. You can also always find me in there, bugging him in the chat, bugging you guys in the chat. Let's see. For me, same bat time, same bat channel next week for another foil variant right here. Intellectually Honest Comic Book Talk. Go subscribe to my channels on Twitch and YouTube. Links for both me and Andrew and everything else are in the description below. I'm also getting back to streaming right now. I've only been doing some Magic streams right now, but also talking during them. Going to be a slight disruption because, as I noted to Andrew at the beginning of the show, I'm going out to San Diego for the weekend. But once we're back, we're
Comic-Con.
back. Yeah, Comic-Con time. Mostly variant cover hunting time for you and me. But it should be a blast. And yes, I think that's freaking Water Temple. I don't think you can really put any other stamp on it than that. So...
Oh, you'll have to say hi to our buddy Aaron Sparrow over there. He's got a booth over there.
Oh, he does? Is he in like the artist alley or something?
I'm not 100% sure, but I do have his booth number. I'll
all right,
show it
I got to look at that. But with that, guys, I think that's all I've got for this week. Andrew?
That's all, folks.
All right, guys. Take it easy. See you next week. And remember, the solicit copy is the sales copy. You've got to buy the real issue. All right. Take it easy.
Never before have we had greater face a complex
and
rapidly changing world.
Dude, my mic is still going. Hi, everybody. My mic is still going. Hold on.
It is a world that has seen the coming of the atomic bomb. It has seen the rise of the total state, the dictator, and the mass man. It is a world of new sensations, new excitements, new distractions.
So much to be learned by so many in so little time.
And I suppose you're here with no agenda, as per usual?
On the contrary, I'm here for comics. What kind of man are you anyway? I'm talking comics and you bring up chicks and romance?